Warning. This is a show where we talk about our favorite characters in media, so this may be full of spoilers throughout the entire episode. We apologize if that's not quite your thing, but we do hope that you enjoy anyway. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Powered Casual Presents 5 Hit List. This week, we are doing bad movies, worst movies, however you want to phrase it, but with a twist. Specifically, we're gonna be able to actually assign a number to how bad everybody's list is, because whenever we reveal a choice on this list, we are going to look up the Rotten Tomatoes score, and we're going to see just how bad, critically, each movie is, and we'll slap that number on there, and we'll be able to, at the end, see just how bad our tastes are overall.
Well, let's not say that this is our taste. We may have just happened to watch these terrible movies.
Some of these might have been accidents.
We may have chosen to sit through these movies for one reason or another.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about? Are we going to do any predictions? Should we do predictions?
Oh yeah.
Oh
crap.
yeah. If you have any predictions, write them down. You know, if you got a guess for a movie that's going to be on a list, or a movie.
Well,
by,
I mean, that
by
doesn't
a
really matter
director,
because
how low you think someone's overall score is going to be, like whatever you want to predict, you can predict.
All right.
Oh yeah. That's a prediction right there. That one I should have friggin' thought of.
Wait, where? So wait, are we all looking at the sheet now? What's going on here?
Yeah,
no,
look at the second sheet if you want. That
Well,
doesn't
now I'm
have
scared because I don't want to
spoilers.
see.
Don't scroll down.
RT Calc.
Yeah, RT Calc.
Brian he intentionally shared us a spreadsheet he made to keep track of the scores this week.
He wanted to intimidate us.
Yeah, but in doing so, he accidentally put his list on there where we could all see it, and almost ruined the surprise.
I know his list by heart now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've
You
already.
guys are going to win on the
My
prediction.
curse of the photographic memory.
I
don't have that.
No. Well, you have a photographer's memory.
No, true. True. It's a good
Not
point.
photographic, but photography memory.
When you're
Wait,
right,
so
you're
where are we
right.
putting the predictions in the third one?
I
No,
usually
just-
put them on a post-it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're just okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
jot them down.
Just
somewhere
no
handy.
accountability, honor system,
Yeah.
dishonor
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
I just do it on a notepad.
Let's see. What is Ian gonna say?
What movies do you think are that I hated? What movies do you think that I bothered to see and watch and sit through? Oh, and we're not counting the scores for any honorable mentions, right? This
No,
is
because
too
the
many.
score is going to be the Rotten Tables.
Yeah.
Rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Also, we established that
It's all on the five.
we're doing average score, not total score, because some
Yes.
scores might be zeros, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I did check it. I had a friend check to see if one of mine was on, like, even had a Rotten Tomato score, because you need like a certain number of
So you
reviews before it gives you an average.
So you're cheating.
No, they didn't tell me what the score was. They just told me if it had a score.
So you cheated.
So I put it in honorable mentions.
Okay.
Way to cheat. Good job cheating.
That's not cheating. It's using the resources.
Oh, we're using resource. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, Spotify Audible for best soundtrack.
That wasn't cheating. That was just a bad pick.
There is a difference between just choosing poorly and actively subverting the rules. But anyway, let's go around the table here. So okay. Yeah, let's get this chat over here. And okay, so I'm Ian. It's my channel. Y'all probably know me by now. Next to me, on this side, we have Sean, hopping in again with us this week, getting ready to dispense his Audible and Spotify choices. Below me,
Coming.
we have Brian, also returning this week. I'm guessing. I know I'm not gonna. It's one of my predictions, but I don't know how many honorable mentions you have. But I'm picking a number, and I think it's that number.
Oh, I'm gonna guess that too. Okay, hold
Okay.
on.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's not fair. Come on.
Look,
All right.
look, you've had a lot. Granted, Noah came close.
Noah beat me.
Noah beat
Noah's
you.
currently got the crown.
Once,
Yeah.
no, in one episode, Noah
Yeah.
beat you, and you still have the highest one. Don't do that.
Well,
no,
yeah,
no.
okay.
Look, you can check the spreadsheet later and see
That you had 13.
what my
spreadsheet.
total are.
Yeah,
I
check
never
the-
had 13.
Check the spreadsheet you made. Yeah.
The entire League of Legends roster.
It
My
wasn't
honorable
bad.
mention.
And last but not least, our our good friend. I'm still stuck on Brian. That's why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at Nate. I'm laughing at Brian. Our good friend
Great.
Nate has helpfully hopped on this week to fill in for Zelda, and not only fill in for Zelda, but give us this awesome topic with this like nice score mechanic that we haven't played with yet. So thank you, Nate.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Woo.
You know, a little more competition will do us some good here.
Yeah.
Getting too friendly up in here.
Yeah. We
You
don't
guys
yell
are
at
like,
each
"Oh,
other
yeah,
enough.
really valid point, Brian. That's great. Now
He
people will
clearly
be
has
like,
not watched our show.
not enough.
All right.
Okay. Let's get started.
So usually we start off with our guest, right? John's got this
We
calculated.
start everywhere. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Just do what you
we've
want.
started all over the place.
I've given up on that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if Nate starts, Nate, you get to go at the very end last. So
oh, is it like a snake or something?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
so do you want to give us your number 5?
Yeah, my number 5. Well, let me find it here because I of course can't prepare enough to just have a email open. All right, so I went with, for number 5, I went with a movie that I actually really enjoy, but objectively a lot of people hated, is Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this movie. I've seen it many times. It's just the perfect amount of cheesiness, and like all the lines are great. John Leguizamo's speeding through the alley at the beginning, just like, I got a feeling, I got a hunch. I'm like, what are you talking about? Bob Hoskins hated this movie. I was just like, come on, man. How can you go wrong with Dennis Hopper as a villain? Like,
Well, I think
it's the same thing with Waterworld, man. He's just so good as a cheesy dick.
I think that's the problem. Like, the cast was honestly great. Like, yeah, Dennis Hopper is a great villain. He is, and I love Waterworld, so I follow you totally. And yeah, John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, that's a great combo. But then there's the rest of the movie.
I mean, you got whoever the Moombas are, like they become smart. It's just such a creative movie. How can you have a movie be so creative and people like not just like it? You've got the Boom Boom Bar
Because-
and stuff. You've got like
because of-
Yoshi.
Yoshi's just a
Insane, man.
raptor. He's just a
Yeah,
velociraptor.
the problem is it's called Super Mario Brothers.
Look,
So-
irrelevant. I feel like it's hate because, but like that's the thing, right? Like what were people expecting that they went into this and like, oh yeah, this really tarnished the brand. I was really hoping for more out of this movie. There's just so much complexity and depth to Super Mario Brothers that they really didn't explore here. It's like, no, man, it's a goofy movie, and it's horrible.
No, Goofy movie's
The
a great
acting
movie.
is like better than any of the other movies on my list. Actually, the acting in this movie is better than a lot of like objectively good movies. Everyone really gets into it. I'm curious what they thought was happening when they made the movie. Like, was everyone just like, "Wow, this is
Well,
This is
terrible."
art.
famously, all the actors got really drunk just to get through it because things kept changing every day that they stopped bothering to read the script.
Yikes.
That's fine.
Good sign.
so-
Good sign.
I got an important question, and we can keep talking about this. Do we want to go with the tomatometer or the audience score?
I like the tomato meter,
Yeah,
but
'cause
I
that's-
guess we hadn't talked about it.
Because
That incorporates critics too, right?
that's the
Yeah,
critical
that's critics.
score. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are people who
Yeah.
had to write something about the movie. They had to.
Okay.
I mean, I am curious what the other score is.
Okay.
What
All
is
right,
the other
so
score for Super Mario Brothers?
The critical score is, or the tomatometer is 28%.
Okay.
The audience score is 29%. And
oh
that's
no,
got,
people really did it. Wow, that's like the most. That's the most accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty
like,
good.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they did
And
it.
that's over 100,000 ratings. So
Yeah,
like
this
they
was-
landed pretty much the same spot as the critics.
Yeah, that's a good data set. That's hard to that's
And
hard to
somewhere
fault.
in there, you can find Nate's review, which is 100%.
Yep.
Hey,
Bob
I agree with
Best
Nate on
work
this one.
since Who Framed
agree with
Roger
Nate.
Rabbit?
This movie is appropriately cheesy, but what did you expect? What were
I
you
expected
looking for?
Super Mario Brothers, and I expected someone to eat a fire flower and then start spitting fire. So
I don't know
Well,
if you guys
that's
have
your
seen
fault.
the
That's your fault.
cartoon, like anytime, like the cartoon. I think I liked as a kid, and then I watched it. I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, and
It-
man, does that not age well at all?
No, it aged very badly.
it is not.
Really
I couldn't
bad.
even watch
Really
all of it on
bad.
Netflix.
Yeah. Just Toad just constantly screaming. Just like, this doesn't. And
It's not a bad day.
the live
We'll get the,
action
like, the-
bits aren't good.
Yeah, we'll get like the dark remake of Super Mario Brothers. We'll bring John Leguizamo back. They'll just reprise his character from John Wick.
Like,
Mhm,
yeah, I
mhm.
bet he would do it. I mean, Bob Hoskins, were he not dead, would never do it again. But I bet John Leguizamo
Dude.
would.
I would no. Now that you said John Wick, I want to see like Keanu Reeves go in there, just give him a mustache and have him throw fireballs instead of shoot a gun. I just want him to go and John Wick the hell out of the Mushroom Kingdom. Just
It's
It's
killing
literally the same
Koopa
premise,
Troopas.
except they steal instead of his wife dying, they steal her
Yeah.
and they bring her somewhere else.
Yeah,
And it's the same thing's gonna happen. He just rolls up in a John Leguizamo shop and he's just like, "I'm sorry, man."
Give me a fireball.
Just
Give
like
me
in
the
the original
Tanuk.
Super Mario Brothers, it was the Russians, man.
yeah. There'll be a scene where like he's literally just flying with the raccoon tail above them, and then just drops down, eats a fire flower, and just.
Yep.
I'm into it.
better movie right there. We have already made a better movie than what they
I think-
gave us.
I think we're ready to film it. I'll play the
do this.
princess.
You
Yeah,
make a
alright.
good princess.
Nate, you can be Luigi because you're
I mean,
tall.
I'll take it.
All right, sweet. So that is it. My number 5.
Tis.
Okay, so my number 5. I was trying to avoid franchises, but I think this one is so bad. It's also number 4, so it's outside the original trilogy, and it has Hulk Hogan in it. So I think that is a good triptych of low score. So my number 5 is Three Ninjas High Noon at what is it called? Mega Mountain.
Because
So-
they really needed to make more Three Ninjas movies.
Yeah,
Oh
and I'm
my
pretty sure they
God.
recast the Three Ninja Kids so they look even younger than their original ones because the other actors aged out.
At a certain point, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you can even see part of Hulk Hogan's outfit in that image. Like
Mhm.
he is as ridiculous, and this like came out in the '90s, not even like the '80s when Hulk was trying to make a serious career.
No,
Like-
this was when Hulkamania was already kind of gone by.
Oh yeah,
Like, you know.
Wait, it's over? What?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hulkamaniacs. Sorry.
yeah.
Oh shit!
All right, what's the score? What's
Okay.
the score?
All right, the audience score is 29%, so that would have been the same as Nate.
Mhm.
The critic score, the tomatometer, is 0%.
That's always suspicious. It's like, really nobody.
No one
How many
liked it.
reviews?
There's 6 reviews. It's 6 reviews, and they all gave it a 0.
I have another question. Was this direct to video, or what are we talking here?
Ooh.
I think it might have been.
All right, we'll put an
but I have watched it.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's really
an
bad.
asterisk.
He did watch it. He did subject himself to it. So it's
Only
allowed.
small children with limited attention spans will be impressed by the lackluster kung foolishness. Oh, that's a good line. That's a good line.
Kung foolishness. That is good.
Let's see.
Uh,
It doesn't. The Wikipedia article doesn't even say if it was theatrically released or not.
Oh, it was in theaters April 10th, 1998. according to
Things are
Rotten
in a
Tomatoes.
pretty sad state when Hulk Hogan gives a movie's most touching performance.
Yep. Yep. And if you've seen it, that means nothing.
Oh,
This is a real bad movie. Most people probably stopped watching after the second one.
Yeah.
Did you know that there were two more after? And
After this?
No, after Kickback.
Oh, after. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, and then this one is the fourth one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if I saw Three Ninjas. Not gonna lie.
I saw it with my Boy Scouts.
Like,
And I was in Boy Scouts for 2 years.
I saw it with my fellow ninja trainees. So
it was required watch. you
yeah,
know?
I mean,
Because what not to do?
Yeah, like we watched that, and Beverly Hills Ninja, and which I legitimately like. That one's it's not an amazing movie, but
See-
Chris Farley as a ninja does please.
Yeah.
yeah, those routinely his movies don't get good reviews, but they're good movies. They're like some solid comedy there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So my
All
number
right,
5.
Ian.
Wait, last question.
Mm.
How long ago did you watch this movie?
That's a good question.
I saw it on Netflix at one point, I think,
Like a couple months ago, or like, are we talking?
2 years ago.
Okay, that's you saw that as like an adult person.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, you don't know. You're just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Everything's
Yeah.
great when
they're
you're a
kicking
kid.
stuff, they're jumping around. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on,
Hulk Hogan's in this? Sweet.
it's on TNT or whatever, and you can actually watch TV that afternoon because it's
Yeah.
raining or whatever. Yeah. You're there
But
for
I
it.
was in
Okay.
high school when this came out. There's no way I watched this when I was in high school. All right. Ian, you're number 5.
All right. So my number 5. I'm actually
Beat a 0.
I want to. I mean, this is essentially golf rules, so you kind of can't. It's hard. It is unless suddenly there's a negative score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's possible. So mine, I'll actually let you guys guess a little bit. I will say that this one is a Hollywood adaptation of an anime, a much beloved anime.
oh, it's the one with Scarlett Johansson, Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, that's one guess. Solid
Uh,
guess.
Do you have more info before?
Nope, that gotta make your
No,
guesses now.
because yeah, the
Because Sean
second
just jumped the gun.
the second I start talking
Of a
about more,
beloved
you'll know what it
anime.
is. Yeah,
Ghost in
A
the Shell.
beloved?
a beloved anime. It is an
Is it-
anime
Is it
that
a live action?
yeah, it's a live
When you say
action
Hollywood-
adaptation.
Hollywood, you mean it's in English, like
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't an adaptation for Netflix or TV Tokyo, what have you.
Is it this century or last century?
Like
'Cause I have
after
two-
two-
I have
like
two I
after
wanna guess.
2000? You're asking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. No, after 2000, this century.
Okay.
Another
I'm gonna
question.
say
Anime like from Japan.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
Were you-
Speed Racer.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good answer
That's
too.
Forgot about that one.
That's a good guess.
Man, I'm trying to think. I'm literally just trying to think in my head of beloved animes that I actually know have been adapted into a Hollywood movie.
It's not
And a
it's
bad
not
one.
it's not a big list, and they're all
Bad.
they're all on the at best on that line. So it's like it's a pretty broad guess.
Oh.
Wait,
Can I
did you
change my
think about-
guess?
I mean, go for it.
You can just.
I'm gonna say Death Note.
Oh, okay.
I was
Alright.
in Netflix. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I have anything. I can't even think of like a beloved anime.
Alright.
that was-
You steal Speed Racer then, so that way Brian feels real bad when it's Speed Racer.
Definitely.
No, I don't
Speed
like this
Racer.
idea.
Now, mine is, in fact, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, this is a classic example of...
I didn't know someone sat down and watched. That's not fair.
I went to the theater and watched
Why?
this. Because a bunch of friends wanted to go.
man.
A couple of you may have been there and blocked it out. I don't remember either. But like, it was a classic
Oh.
example of a movie that was made by someone who had not really watched or cared about the show at all, and they basically just made a movie that they thought would be neat and said the main character's name is Goku.
Mm.
Like,
I
They
just
named all
think
the
they're neat.
characters right.
oh, they did.
just-
Like, Bulma's in it, Yamcha's in it. Like, they have DBZ analogs in there, and the characterization is okay, but like, the movie's got nothing to do with any part of the Dragon Ball saga.
They named a white guy Goku.
The lead character is
But
white.
his hair is poofed.
And his hair is
That
his
counts,
hair.
right?
It's
That's
not-
all that matters.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
one
I
of
mean,
the
Saiyans,
only
Saiyans are white, right?
yeah.
That's one of the only things that I remember about this movie. I remember very little because I only watched it once and I hated it the whole way through. But like the scene where he's trying to do his hair to impress Bulma for the dance or whatever, and the hair gel just like flies off and sprays
That
the
was-
mirror.
That was episode 3. How do you not remember this?
My God, why don't I remember that?
Yeah, I definitely was looking at adaptations because I know there are so many bad ones.
Yeah.
But even if I thought of this one, I couldn't have picked it because I haven't seen it.
You're fine. You're doing good. So what's my score?
All right, so the audience score is 20%.
Okay.
The tomatometer is 15%.
Okay, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yep.
All right.
it's still pretty low.
I definitely saw that and was like, oh, I remember this being real bad, but I didn't actually see the movie. I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
oh
no.
man.
Yeah, for those of you. Oh, okay, I was like, what is up with this poster? It's a foreign poster. That's not actually English on there.
Which poster are you looking at?
The one on the. This is actually kind of a neat surprise because Ark offered to just grab images for everybody. If you didn't want to look for images yourself. So I don't know what any of the movie posters that they picked are. So this poster, I think it's German or Dutch, is Legenden brings us to life.
Mm.
Dragon Ball Evolution. Um,
That's legit. That's
Yeah.
the American one.
Although I will tell you now, I've clearly not been on Rotten Tomatoes very often because my suggested movies, you might also like, they're
Uh-oh.
all like terrible movies.
it's not gonna get any better with all these searches
Yeah.
you're about to do.
12%, 13%, Ink Heart for 39%. Yeah, this is bad.
Your cookies are gonna be all jacked up.
You're tanking my cookies, everybody. All right.
Good.
One thing I do like about that poster is like I feel like I would see that haircut and associate it with Bulma.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah. The
I don't-
the overall look that they landed on for most of the characters wasn't bad. Like they did
Except for
some things
Goku.
well. I mean, Goku would look fine with just one minor change. Him not
So-
being white.
being a completely different person.
Yeah,
Somebody
different
watched
versions.
the anime and they were like, "Do you want us to get the translation?" They're like, "Nah,
Nah, we're
don't worry
good.
about that."
Nah.
That's fine.
We got
It's-
it. We
like,
got it.
Are you sure? It's been out in English for like 15 years. Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
But now I'm curious, like the main guy. Oh, I've seen this guy around, Justin Chatwin.
Yeah, I don't think he's done too much after this.
I think.
Oh, he was in Shameless. I remember him from that. It's like one of those things where it's like something like that happens, and you're like, are you screwed? Like, are you just dead? Like, no one's gonna hire you again after that?
Yeah, it's too bad.
Oh, it's so weird.
I was
Emmy
talking-
Rossum did fine.
Yeah, Emmy Rossum was Bulma. They're both in
Yeah.
Shameless.
Jamie Chung did right.
Anyway, it's hilarious that Piccolo is James Marsters from Buffy.
Yeah.
That's
From what I've heard, he goes all in on his performance.
Oh yeah.
But of course he does.
Yeah, there's like Oh yeah, Chow Yun Fat was in that. My God.
Yeah, he's the turtle master,
Like,
Roshi.
yeah, God. There's
I've seen a lot of clips,
so much I've forgotten about this movie.
for good reason.
But yeah, like on that note, I don't think it's gonna be on anybody's list, though it might. But we were talking about how like there are a lot of movies that are just made to be bad, and I used the example with Ark of not another teen movie. The only person to have a career after that movie was Chris Evans, because it was his first shot.
Yep.
That was his debut
Yeah.
movie, and he was the only one who made it out of there.
Yeah.
That's probably the
that's how
best
it
of those
goes.
spoof movies, I think.
It's top tier for what the spoof movies. It was one of the early ones, and then like
Jamie
none of them were
Presley's
good.
in it.
Yeah,
She did all right.
she did okay.
Who?
She's alive.
Jamie Presley?
She did
That's the joke. Who?
okay. Ooh.
Who?
All right, Sean. What's your number 5?
Okay, so my list went in order of how much I hated them.
Fair.
I mean, that's that. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
So
like keeping it like
yeah.
abstract, like allows people to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure Ian was here for this viewing experience, and it was so okay. I really enjoyed this movie because of the audience that I was with. We went and saw it in the theaters. It is a Nicolas Cage movie, but here's the problem: we went into the theater, and there were 2 different audiences.
Yeah,
there was our crew, and then there was the other crew. And we had a very different experience than the religious group. The religious group who were there for their religious experience of Nicolas Cage in Left Behind.
I know what it is.
Mm.
Oh, you said it.
Yep.
And the rest of us just laughed, and we had a great time. And we felt a little bad at the end. Spoilers, Nicolas Cage and a bunch of other people are left behind when the rapture happens.
Yeah.
And when the rapture happens, the sister is holding her little brother, and they say some really cheesy shit like, I love you so much. And then there's the worst cut you've ever seen in your life. And then she's holding a pile of clothes. And all of us just erupt into laughter. Just laughing our asses off.
Yeah,
and then there's a group behind us who are just like,
And that's some solid, like,
there's
the type
there's
of
a
stuff you
lot.
see back before they couldn't do any sort of special effects. You just be like, oh no, and then you just keep cutting away, and they'd be
yeah.
like somewhere between they're a full person, they like suddenly become like a puppet that's super deformed or like obviously fake, and then they're like, blow.
This came out in 2014. They could definitely have pulled off those.
That's
those
one
effects.
of its many problems.
It was
Like-
low budget, and it was funny.
Like, there's a lot going on with it. Like, even looking at the poster, like, Nick Cage looks confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got left behind.
Like, why am I in this over... And his suit's not even the right size. He's in, like, an airline pilot's uniform. It's not even the right size.
And so I would like to clarify. So at one point, so I sent in the list, and Ark messages me and goes, Left Behind with Nicolas Cage or the original? And I was like, the fuck? What?
Oh, yes. Oh,
So,
yes. There's a
I'm now
whole
finding
series.
There's
Because
Yeah.
I'm searching on Rotten Tomatoes that there was Left Behind 2, Tribulation Force, and Left Behind 3, World at War. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's a book series. Yeah.
It is.
It's
And the
a lot
thing...
going on there.
The thing that gets me, and I'm not going to dive too deep into the theology of this, but yeah, this is an entire franchise based around people who are left behind after the rapture for some sin. And I've never understood why there are so many fans of a group of people who will eventually die and burn in hell.
It's weird because so like I feel like they were early on that train, and it's a train that has been successful.
Sure.
The idea of like a bunch of people disappeared, and now like, how do we push like the leftovers or whatever on HBO? There's like there's a manifest. There's like things where it's like people disappear, and then like maybe they come back, maybe they don't, and like how does that? It's
The first
it's kind
part
of like
Endgame.
Yeah. Well, that one was a little more like obviously going to work out, whereas like, so I heard it described sort of a similar situation of Stephen King's Inside the Dome, where I think the way he described it or the way somebody described it is like, here's like a normal town, a normal life, a normal whatever, and then like we're just gonna throw one thing that's weird into it, and then it's like how do like normal people react in these situations? So it's like yeah, Left Behind clearly looks like it's terrible, but it was weird because like the premise of a bunch of people disappear is actually very compelling,
Sure.
regardless of like the sin stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had two very different experiences in that theater, and it's one of my most cherished memories, especially when we walked out and people were like glaring at us.
Yeah.
They were not pleased with us.
Yeah.
The one thing about the Nicolas Cage posters though is I feel like they look so weird that I wonder if they've been having bodied like face doubles do his posters for like basically for 10 to 15 years where it's like it's never really him and that's why it always looks weird.
Yeah, like they look particularly photoshopped after a fashion.
Yeah, the head is definitely not sized right to the body.
Yeah. Like I remember one of the other weird Nick Cage movies we saw was it wasn't Left Behind. It was another Nick Cage movie where there's like some sort of alien rapture like at the very end, and it ends up being like a Left Behind situation. I can't remember what it is, but it's like almost the same movie.
Oh, really?
Like it's gonna take me too long to find it looking through Nick Cage's filmography, so we'll skip it and go later. But like, what's
ready for the score?
Yeah, what's the score? I gotta know.
All right, so the audience score after 10,000 plus ratings is 4%.
Ooh.
And the Tomatometer with 70 reviews have averaged to 1%.
Oh
so Sean at a very close second place right now.
Best as I could do. This is the best birdie I could pull.
I mean, that's supposed to be number 5, so I guess you organized your list differently, but
yeah, I didn't go by how bad I thought they were.
Yeah, I have not seen this, and I almost put the first one on my list, and I'm gonna check what the first one was with Kirk Cameron.
That one's gonna have a better score because religious people that one had a better audience going to it. This one had Nicolas Cage fans going to it.
Yeah, so don't look it up if you have it on your list. I won't tell you, but it is higher than this one. So if you have it on your list, spoiler, it is higher.
But yeah, Brian, don't see this.
Don't.
Because the only redeeming factor was the group of people we were with.
Yeah.
So far, I'm the only one who can recommend the movie that I picked.
So far, I mean,
I can recommend the movie experience that I had.
I think a bonus deduction should be made for whoever has a list that has the movies that most of us, the rest of us, have seen.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure not all of us have. Not all of us have seen Dragon Ball.
Hopefully
and
not.
Left Behind or Three Ninjas.
Just making up new rules.
I'm pretty sure we've all seen Super Mario Brothers, though.
Just making up new rules on the fly. Okay, all right, I see you.
I'm trying to help out our guest. All right. So we're on to number 4s.
Yeah. What's your number 4, Brian?
All right. My number 4 is we were talking about adaptations earlier. This was an adaptation movie that I saw in the last year, I think, during the pandemic, of a Korean manhwa that I really liked, and then it just stopped being published. And then they made a movie out of it with Paul Bettany that has almost nothing to do with the manhwa, and that is Priest.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real bad movie. It's ridiculously bad. I sat through it because I felt like I had to as a fan of the original source material. But this is a terrible, terrible movie that I think was trying to set itself up for sequels. And let's all be grateful that we will never see them. Because number one, like, I'm pretty sure they're trying to do Carl Urban, isn't it? They're trying to do a it's like takes place in the future, past where the manhwa would eventually end, but I don't think the manhwa was ever finished.
Are you saying manga?
No, Korean
It's Korean
is
and Korean
different,
is
yeah.
manhwa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I think they didn't really know what was going to fully happen at the end of the manhwa series. So they're just kind of making stuff up, and he's riding on like these weird motorcycle things through this desert. That's clearly like green screen.
Side note: we definitely should have tried to convince Sean that that you were saying manga this whole time. Just what are you talking about? He is saying manga.
So
I don't believe
it's real
it.
bad. It's real bad.
I mean,
Audience
it's got
score
Paul
is
Bettany and Carl Urban, though. I like both of those people.
Yeah, that's
I know.
a good leading cast, but I guess
I feel like that's one of those things though, where like
Maggie
Carl
Q's in
Urban. I
it.
don't know what year this was, but like for many movies, they just didn't know how to use Carl Urban.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
Like, he was like a nobody in the Chronicles of Riddick. There's like a couple
Yeah.
other movies where he's just kind of a nobody.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't until Lord of the Rings that he actually was like, oh wait, this guy can act.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, we
Yeah.
just need to give him a nice long hair, or cover up his face with a Judge Dredd mask, or
Mhm.
Yeah. Paul Bettany also had a string of movies where he, like, this movie is very similar to the plot of Legion, which he was in, where he's like
Yeah,
an angel fighting angels.
I think that's why I was confused. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought this movie was called something different.
Yeah, you're thinking of Legion. It came out around the same time and was also real bad.
that's based
but
off a graphic novel, though, right? Or it's based off
Legion?
something. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. And this was around the time he was the voice of Jarvis still, so he was still making money.
Oh yeah.
But
Wanted his face to be seen.
yeah.
His best movie is definitely Knight's Tale, where he's the.
I should
yeah.
have picked that movie.
See, A Knight's Tale is a good movie that everyone
That's
should
great.
watch.
I didn't say it was a bad movie.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just saying.
not like
Yeah.
that one. I'm not. I don't think that one has a crazy low Rotten Tomatoes either, because it's definitely like it's a.
Well, it was
it's
a game
quite-
change. It was it was like, hey, let's do this medieval movie, but it'll be like tongue in cheek. There's like rock music and like crazy dance sequences and stuff. So
Yeah, that
I think
was.
critics appreciate that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, and that was like one of Heath Ledger's like breakout movies.
Yeah.
Like
That
Yeah.
and 10 Things.
yeah. See, I never saw 10. Well, no, I did see 10 Things. But eventually, but I saw A Knight's Tale first. That was like a on repeat movie when I was in high school with depending on which group of friends I was with.
All right. So my score for this one is a 15 on the tomatometer. Audience score is actually 46. So I'm glad we didn't go with audience score.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That brings my average to 7.5.
Well, let's see what I can do about that.
All right, Ian. Drop your score.
Yeah.
What you got?
What do I have? I have. Oh, okay. This is a movie. This is a sequel. That's part of a franchise that is actually universally liked, with the exception of this film. And it's one of the movies that I went to with a group of friends, and Mick was one of those people, and I think she either walked out of the theater or almost walked out of the theater.
Mick sits through some bad stuff, so if she walks out of this one, like,
Ark is telling me that she's pretty sure that Mick left. And it is The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And it's bad, folks. It's real bad.
It can't be that bad. It's got Brendan Fraser.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, oh, it's got Brendan Fraser still at the top of his game. They brought in Jet Li as the villain. It's like, okay, sick, good choice, love it. But then they recast his wife Evie. I don't even remember who they recast her with. because
I do remember that.
because Rachel Weisz didn't want to do it. She was like,
Yeah.
Maria
no.
Bello.
I mean,
And they
Maria
just have this
Bello.
like
Okay.
random line where they're like, "It's me, deal with it." They did the whole Tony Stark roadie thing from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah, they're like, ah, yes, this is clearly my wife. Hello, my wife, who has not changed at all. Like, and there's just a bunch of awkward scenes because like the son from The Mummy Returns has grown up and the actor is almost as old as Brendan Fraser. So trying to do a father-son thing with a man your own age is awkward.
Yeah.
And like the best part, and like Jet Li has the one of the other bad. Jet Li has almost no lines in the film, almost none, and they just didn't give him a chance to act almost at all. So just
They did the
completely.
same thing as like the Scorpion King, right? Like, or with the Scorpion King in the was that the second Mummy movie?
Yeah, that was the
What's
second
one with
one.
The Rock. Yeah,
Yeah,
they did the
that-
same thing. We're like, here's The Rock, and it's like he basically spent the entire time as a CG crazy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But The Rock was like a secondary villain in that. You're still like Imhotep
Oh,
was still
yeah,
the
that's
main
true, yeah.
villain,
Yeah.
so it was okay. And
Yeah.
the Imhotep dude was great.
Imhotep,
was.
yeah, that guy just killed that entire role.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
was
then
amazing.
we get this. The best part, and I shit you not, the best part of this movie for me was even though they're doing the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor and the most of the movie is not set in the Himalayas, they end up in the Himalayas. And they encounter two Yetis. And I
forgot about
forget
that.
who, but yeah, someone gets drop kicked by a Yeti in between two trees in the distance, and the other Yeti signals a touchdown.
Why would they
That's
know?
great.
Like-
See, I watched this movie on like Netflix or some streaming service probably within the last 2 or 3 years, and aside from Rachel Weisz not being in it, I liked this. It was fine. I don't think it was that bad.
It's just the big thing, and I don't know if the score is going to be any worse, but the big thing was like it was just such a nosedive after we got The Mummy, which was a great movie, like Mummy Returns, which is perhaps even greater. And then The Scorpion King, the first Scorpion King with The Rock, the standalone, it was a good, fun action movie, and it was one of The Rock's early roles, and we got to see him be funny, which was really neat. And then we got this.
They did Jet Li dirty. in
They
this
did.
movie.
They really did.
Yeah.
Like they're like, we're gonna get a big name Chinese actor, incredibly famous at home and abroad, and do nothing with him.
I've seen this recently on Netflix, I think, within the last couple of years, and it is. I almost shut it off.
I
mostly
watched the
left
whole
it on.
trilogy, and maybe
I think I
just have
left
a
it
better
on because of
tolerance.
Jet Li. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
I think we went and we bought a box set, or we bought a box set of the trilogy, actively looking for one that didn't include this movie.
Don't want to support it, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna
We don't
throw.
want to give it money.
I'm never gonna use that disc. Don't
Well,
give
now-
me plastic. I'm not gonna need.
What do you think has a worse score, this or the new Mummy?
Ooh, see.
Oh, the Tom Cruise one.
I haven't
Can't
seen
look.
the Tom
We
Cruise
can't
one.
look
When
just in case.
When I found out the
Oh
Tom
yeah, we
Cruise
can't check
one
just in case.
had nothing
We'll
to
check
do.
later.
I think the Tom Cruise one is actually going to be higher. I'll put that prediction in.
Yeah,
I
put
think
that
the
on your
Tom Cruise
prediction.
is going to be a higher number than the Jet Li Mummy.
Well, unfortunately, if you just type in "mummy," there's a lot of movies with that in the title.
Indeed.
Believe it or not.
Indeed, there are. In fact, The Mummy, which I love so much, is indeed a remake. I am surprised to find.
All right, so your score is a 12.
Yeah.
For the tomatometer.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what? Where'd it go?
The audience score deleted itself.
The audience score was a 30%.
Really?
Yeah. So,
God, people are wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean probably was trying to defend himself. He knew, like deep down, he added his review on there. And he's like, "Look, guys, I liked it.
It wasn't that bad.
Not bad. Like 5 tomatoes.
Yeah. So your new average is 13.5.
Ooh,
You
doing
have
good.
the most consistent score so far.
Yeah, but it's going down. Most consistent
is.
out of 2. I love it.
Yeah. You want to be going down as you go up the list, right? So
Yes.
you're doing the right thing. I went up.
That's true. That we didn't even think of
jumped-
it in terms
you-
of that. That's
you went up by 150%, man. Like that's
No, I went up by 7.5%.
sure.
what?
This
Sure.
movie made $102 million.
That's not
Great.
a plot.
It's not good.
That's all right, Sean.
All right. Sean, what's your number 4?
So I watched this one on some streaming service, and this one is just bad. Do not recommend. It's Sausage Party. It's just not good. I was like, it's Seth Rogen, and it'll be funny. And I was like, oh. And I watched the whole thing because I felt like I needed to like come to terms with what I had done to myself. And it weren't good. And
They're really banking on that shock value to carry them through. And,
yeah.
Yeah, they were
not good writing apparently.
And I've looked at the Rotten Tomato score on this, and I'm real upset.
Is it high?
I'm exceptionally upset.
Holy moly. What is wrong with people?
Wait, don't say it. Don't say it. Is
okay.
it? Yeah, Ian, what do you think it is?
Ooh, I'm gonna say. I mean, it's Sausage Party, which I haven't seen, but from everything I've heard, it should be 0. So anything over 0 is gonna be disappointing. But I think I'm gonna say 30.
Okay, I'm not even gonna.
I'm gonna go with.
Let me get a number in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 55%.
Okay.
This movie is certified fresh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
What does it?
no.
What does that mean? Over 50?
It's got
Much higher.
It's got an
Oh, it
82%.
has more like greens than reds, right? Is that what it means?
I don't fucking know. It's an 82%. It's disgusting.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah. A certified fresh means a consistent score of 75% or higher.
Let's get some of those
No.
critic quotes on like what's
Yeah, let's go read some
what's
quotes.
the top
Yeah.
critic quote? It's just like, oh man, it's like Shakespeare but animated.
Let's see.
Okay.
The surprising thing about Sausage Party is that its desire to swerve from the norm with dirty humor is evened out by an equally strong impulse to bolster those norms.
This is one animated film that is not for children. You don't fucking say, Chris McCoy from the Memphis Flyer.
I gotta ask Sean. Did you provide images for this one, or did
No,
Art?
Ark did.
Okay, excellent choice. Excellent
Yeah.
choice on Sausage Party Arc.
Yeah. Seth Rogen is a genius. Lucky, really, that I never liked hot dogs anyway. That's from the London Evening Standard.
Sausage Party has moments of delicious flavor. Unfortunately, as a meal, it will leave you famished.
Wow. I cannot believe that this is this high.
Yeah,
God. What's
like,
the
this-
audience
this-
score?
This 50%. But this proves to you, that I did not check my scores beforehand. 'Cause
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's not.
Hoops on.
That's
it.
not
Like-
okay.
Did every critic just forget how scores work for a minute? Did they think that it was like a DEF CON situation where 5
I'd
is
like to-
actually the lowest?
So this is all critics. I'm going to look at top critics because I just want to. Red, green, red, green, red. What the fuck?
This is-
look, you just didn't analyze it well enough. You needed to sit on it for a bit in the theater and really ponder
Okay.
the.
All right. Jen
the
Yamato
themes.
from the Daily Beast. You might find yourself alone one night, imagining your dinner, screaming with every bite you take, and then wonder, is that a half-eaten slice of pizza plotting cheesy vengeance upon me? Or am I the half-eaten slice of pizza? Fuck you, Jen Yamato.
What?
This was a bad movie.
You gotta hate on a lot
There's a
of critics,
conspiracy
though.
going on here.
Oh,
Over
This is-
200
this is
reviews.
fucked up.
yeah,
fucked
this
up.
this has got to be a troll. This is
This has to be
Yeah.
stricken from the record. There's a new rule. We all get to strike one from the record.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah,
fuck you,
like-
Brian.
like
Since I'm in the
You get
lead,
to make
no.
up new rules.
All right, so wait, what does that put you at now? Oh, we're doing
Like
average.
41.5.
42, yeah.
So
went
Okay.
from 1 to 82.
I would be super impressed if you could stay under 100 total percentage points with your entire set now.
Yeah.
see.
yeah, like,
Well, it'll be under 100, but
I
he's
mean-
got to
No,
keep
I'm
it
not talking
under
about
40
average though.
now.
I'm saying
no,
Well,
I mean like
can I-
total
Oh,
aggregate
yeah.
score.
So-
like
Oh,
got
yeah.
like 15 points to play with here. Let's see.
Well, now I'm going to look ahead because I need to know.
Yeah.
Please don't ruin the surprise.
No, yeah. This is part of the fun. All right.
All right, I'll
Nate,
look ahead.
Nate, what's your number 4? Let's see if you can beat
I get
82%.
to strike this from the record. This is bullshit. I'll go find another movie. Wait. What if we get to slot in our honorable mention for our one fucked up review movie? What about that?
Sure. Okay.
No.
I'm
Fuck
down
you,
with that.
Brian.
I'm down with that. It's
Well,
3 to 1. We're doing it.
man.
If we have
Okay.
one
Oh my
surprising
God.
number, we can swap it out. But again, no looking ahead. Because what if you
Yeah,
swap out
that's
your
the agreement.
82
You can't.
for something
Alright.
that comes in at 83?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
But we can't not forget it. We'll remember that.
You try and swap it out, and it turns out it's got a 90%.
Fuck. I'll be so mad. I'll be.
Sean just disconnects
We'll
from the meeting.
it's all right.
All right, Nate, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is it's like a cult classic, considered one of the worst movies of all time. Like there are viewing parties at theaters.
The Room.
It is The Room.
Hey.
Nope, that's Sean's again. Sorry. There we go.
So not the 2019 one
No.
with Olga Kurylenko.
The OG Room.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau.
I did get the opportunity to see this in theaters or in the
Never
theater.
actually
at
sat
a
down
little
and watched
party
it.
and stuff.
I've seen about half of it.
It's compelling. There's a lot of just straight up just sex scenes, a lot of sex scenes stuff going on. The acting is I will say the acting is very consistent. It's not like one person's really good and like everyone else sucks. It's like they're all on the same level. So it's like in that way, somehow it doesn't because not like one person sucks or 3 people sucks. It manages to keep you like in the story. You're not kind of like pulled out of it.
Mm.
But yeah, this movie's terrible. It deserves.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that it really just comes down to Tommy Wiseau is just so bizarre.
Yeah.
Such
Just a
bizarre
weird
person.
guy.
Yeah.
And everything he talks, he has like this accent that literally no one knows what it is. Like, it's just super weird. It just seems like it feels like he's taking advantage of everyone else who's acting in the movie. Like we're here, but we really don't want to be here. Like he has dirt on us or something. It's a strange. I feel bad for all of them.
I am surprised that there aren't more audience ratings for this and that the audience score is so low because
I think
it's
it's
got
just-
such a huge cult following.
I think just people don't bother. Like they're just like, I'm not gonna bother to review The Room. We all know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
everyone-
reviewing
yeah,
the
everyone
Rocky
knows.
Horror Picture Show. Like
Yeah,
you've seen
that's
it, you know it.
Mm.
I
So,
was in charge of like our weekly icebreaker question at our like big all site all hands meeting at work this week, and I asked everybody if you could act on stage or screen with any actor living or dead, who would it be? And one supervisor
Is it
popped
Tommy
in
Wiseau?
with Tommy Wiseau, and I was just like, oh, that's bold. I got to know the story. because everyone else is like Bette Midler and Christopher Lee, Robin Williams, like a lot of really great names, and then Tommy Wiseau, and he was just like, he is so bad, he would make me look great. I wouldn't have to like try to get to that same level as like a Denzel Washington.
Have any of you seen The Disaster Artist?
I haven't
bothered.
I've seen it. It's pretty funny.
I feel like one thing is like it's weird because it some of the stuff and the way that people enter and leave scenes and like even just move around is very Napoleon Dynamite-esque, where he's just like there's scenes where he just kind of like runs off with like he doesn't move his hands like a normal person type stuff, but like he's an awkward kid. So like I understand that, right? But these are like normal people, and the way that scenes like begin and end and people leave and move around, it's just so abrupt and weird. But it has that same sort of like, what just happened? Where did he go?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Like, people throwing a football around at a bet, like in tuxedos and stuff.
That's I guess that's part of it, right? He's basically like an alien, and he thinks like this is basically everything that he does is like this is how normal humans interact, right? Like people, this is how like men bond. They throw a football in an alley for a little bit. Like that's what they do. And so I guess that's why that like you could have a scene in a movie where two guys are throwing a football back and forth, but he's just like pretending because he's like, this is what normal humans do.
All right, so audience score 47%.
Okay.
Tomatometer is 23.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm
I
giving
can't believe it's
myself
that
plenty
high.
of room to ramp down. I'm still going for that.
Yep.
Indiana, I was just cruising down.
Yeah, it is going lower, so.
Yeah, you and Sean have already fucked up.
Listen, not my fault. Not my fault.
All right, Han Solo.
Went over to your fucking house, Brian.
I mean, Sausage Party, that's a pretty wild upset.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
not
believe that.
that's not right.
That shit is fucked.
That can't be right. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like I picked the fucking, what did I? The Empire Strikes Back, and originally, what are you doing? I picked a bad movie.
Yeah, it's objectively bad.
or it's like my use for that is Avatar, like the blue people one.
Yeah.
I hated that movie. I still don't like it. But critical and commercial success all over the place. I still don't get it.
It's weird because it doesn't.
It's Ferngully.
It's there's so many rating things that are like that where it's like they don't draw. They don't have different genres. They don't have different demographics. They just like this is really good for this whatever, right? And they also like over time, and that's probably just a failure of rating systems. But like if you were to just take a library of stuff and build a rating system, you could make an accurate rating system given the entire library. But then the more you add things in, the kind of wackier things are, where it's like, where do I put this? Like, there's only so many movies that can be 80 to 100%, but like over time, it's like how you rate everything like a 4, right, or a 5. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's a 4. It was terrible. I'm like, what?
And like, there are definitely we're starting to see a trend because there are some things that like inevitably there are movies on here that were around before Rotten Tomatoes was, like Super Mario Brothers and Three Ninjas. So it's just a matter of how many people bothered to go back and retroactively review it. Like, inevitably less people went back and said, I'm going to write a review for Three Ninjas Mega Mountain and make sure this makes it to the internet.
That's not my fault.
No.
Sure.
It's not your
fault.
My
fault I got a 0.
It's still a bad movie. We all know this.
It is. Objectively.
bad.
Objectively bad.
As soon as you guys saw Brian's list, you should have just like gotten on the site and reviewed his stuff real quick. Like 100%.
Just bump everything
But we didn't go with audience score.
I work for the Chicago Sun-Tribune. My name is actually Gene Siskel. Don't worry. He's not actually dead. He's me.
Me. My name happens to also be Gene Siskel.
Even more embarrassing. I'd be like, yes, my name is Brian Tingdahl, and I love this movie. It's just so good. I can't get enough of it. And then we would just point to that and be like, wow, Brian really just playing the field,
Yeah.
huh? Double agent.
What's your news source? Oh, 5-hit list.
It's
Yep.
the publication of record among
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. All right, number
All right,
three.
number 3.
Ian, what you got for number 3?
I don't have much of a preamble. It's Birdemic. It's
I didn't know this title was so much longer because I looked at this one.
yeah, it's just a horrible movie. Like, it's just very badly made. It's just a very it's definitely like a student film that got released publicly as a joke sort of
Is this
situation.
Birdemic or Birdemic 2?
Oh, just no, Birdemic.
The first one.
The first one. I never
Full title is Birdemic: Shock and Terror.
See, I just found out there was a sequel just now. I was today years old when I found out they bothered to make a fucking second one.
You want to watch it? We should
no.
watch it.
But like
I'll watch it.
Things like yeah, there are just, clip art birds just hovering above people while the people are like, "Oh no, there's a bird over here now, actually. Sorry." And then eventually there's a part where when the birds try and attack people, they move the clip art down and the bird explodes.
Oh, dope.
Like,
that's right, the birds explode.
The birds explode. And like it's just a horrible version of like Hitchcock's The Birds ultimately. And it's just
a great version.
It's just bad. This is just one of the few movies that I remember actually sitting through because I was watching it with friends that were like, "We're gonna watch 2 movies today. We're gonna watch The Room and we're gonna watch Birdemic." I will point out, I don't really hang out with those people anymore for various reasons. Various unrelated reasons. Some of the other shit we watched was hilarious, but that day we decided, we're gonna watch
legally
2 of the worst
distinct
things.
reasons.
Yeah.
Look, clearly none of you have been attacked by birds, and it shows because they do explode when they come close to you.
You're right, I have not.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's not the experience
trying to avoid
I had as a child.
I heard magpies in Australia attack a lot.
They
They
do.
must explode on your head.
Yeah.
All right.
What's my
Audience
score? Yeah.
With over 1,000 ratings would have been 26%. You're lucky with the 17 reviews on the Tomatometer. You have an 18%. So it's a little bit up, but your average is 15.
Yep.
You're consistent.
Keeping good. Keeping level. My target, I think, at this point is 15. If I can hover, then I might
Right.
I might squeak through with a win.
You somehow have an instinct. Somebody's like, we should watch this one movie. You're like, no, I feel like that's below 12% on Tomatoes, so I can't watch it.
Yeah, I've got a threshold that I just feel whenever someone
12
says
or
a
less.
title. Yeah.
All right, Sean. The good news is it can't possibly be better than Sausage Party.
Please let it be better than Sausage Party.
Swear.
Who put as a prediction something's going to be over 90%? Because
I did not. I should have. Oh, wait. That's a ding for me. I predicted that Ian was going to pick Birdemic. So.
Oh, you did.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. I only had two predictions, and that was one of them.
I must have ranted about this movie before.
I think it went around in the PortCon like chats or something because I remember hearing about it and I was like, now I got to see this movie, and it was pretty awful.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sean.
All right,
number 3.
Sean.
All right, my number 3. This is the second in what I have found out is a trilogy. The first one I thought was an interesting kind of horror, like gore, gross movie. It was interesting. It wasn't good, but it was at least interesting because all the like gory stuff was mostly psychological. Like they didn't show you a lot of it. Like you saw it, but they cut to black before they like did any of the surgery shit. In the Human Centipede 2,
Oh no.
you see everything. It's just fucking torture porn, and it is awful. It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's not good. I tend to like once I have very bad sunk cost fallacy. Once I start something, I tend to finish it.
I have to type this into my
Yeah.
Enjoy,
Yeah.
score boy.
What gets me about this movie, and I have not seen any of the Human Centipede movies, because yeah, it's torture porn. But the fact that the premise of this one is that a guy saw the first movie and was like,
Mhm.
"What a great fucking idea this is! I'm gonna do it, but with more people."
Yeah, that was fucking.
That's the
But
premise.
like the first one, where he's like, "Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's a picture of 3 stick figures, ha ha ha," and then you cut to black and you come back and there obviously is like rubber suit bullshit, blah blah blah. It's gross, but it doesn't look that bad. This one, you actually watch him like sewing shit, and it's just, ugh, not good, not good.
Like
Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about this movie.
some movies should not be allowed to be funded.
And I found out there's a third one.
There is.
There is.
It's about a prison.
He always planned on it.
The third
being
one's a prison.
Yeah.
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 What?
That's all I know.
Tom Six always wanted it to be a trilogy.
I stopped when I found out it was about a prison. I stopped reading the summary. It's just
It's weird. Like it sucks because like for movies like that, like the grotesque ones, like the practical effects artists are like geniuses. Like those are
sure.
those have to be some really talented people, right? It's just like, I mean, hopefully they got paid well. Probably not, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you see that in a lot of those torture things where it's like, oh, this is an awful movie, and it's like really upsetting me. But like that's a testament to like people who actually really know what they're doing.
Do you want it on your resume though, as an effects person?
I mean,
Yeah, probably.
I feel like
I
definitely.
mean, if that's the career you made, you're like, I'm not responsible for what I'm told to make. I'm just told to make this bat anus or whatever.
Well, you could look at the real, like, I mean, when Sean was like, oh, you see him sewing and stuff like that. I'm like that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's to make it look like the dude's sewing into human skin and there's like whatever and all the gore and blood and stuff like that. Yeah, like that's like hard to do. Can even think back to the 80s and some movies that have actually great special effects. It's like this looks good, like The Thing. It's like this is like creepy looking, but it doesn't look like a lot of it's like it doesn't really look like it looks like rubber, right? Yeah. It's like even something as simple as like he's just sticking a needle through an arm or something. It's like, oh, that looks real.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not good. But that was, again, we're going up the scale on how much I dislike these, and I really.
Wait, so did you see 3?
I didn't know 3 existed until I just searched for this so I could see what the score was.
Mm.
Look, man, if you're a completionist, ignorance is bliss. You need to not be finding that stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
The audience score is 23%. Tomatometer is 29%. So that brings you back down to 37.3 repeating.
Yeah, that's a good drop.
That is a good drop.
But like, yeah, like there are just some.
I want to read one of these positive reviews.
Oh God, don't.
Like there are just so many. There's just movies that shouldn't be funded. Like no studio should be like, yes, I will pay a man money to make a movie like this, and I will pay to release it, and my name will be on it.
Wait, one dude is in here as the same.
Oh yeah.
One dude's in here twice for 2 different magazines or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Truck Norris here mentions a Serbian film. It's just snuff films. Why are snuff films a thing? Why?
That is a surprisingly high score I accidentally looked at earlier.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Like, why?
Martin, the main character, may lack his role model surgical skills, professional tools, scientific interests, or concern with clinical hygiene, but in all his sick, sweaty grotesquerie, Martin is us. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Fucking isn't.
Anton Batel from Scene 360, you're wrong.
That's the guy who's on here twice.
Is he really?
Yeah. Like,
what's this other thing say?
So he's got
down
one
there, and he fucking votes it. Well, what? 2 years later, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he's just padding the review.
I'm gonna get
All right,
that.
let's move on
off the screen.
Yeah,
No, we're still talking about it.
Let's talk about something else, please.
God,
These people are clearly into scat. The ones giving it a positive review.
Yeah, I didn't make this a prediction, but I was hoping the human centipedes wouldn't show up. But
sorry.
they're legitimately bad movies. Like they
so is Sausage
Nate,
Party.
Nate, number 3. Nate, let's go with number 3. I'm sick of talking about
Please
this.
say Human Centipede 3. Oh my god.
No.
I would pay so much money if that were to happen right now because Brian would be the most
Stop
upset person
prolonging
in
the
the
talk
world.
about this terrible, terrible franchise. Look at my cat.
You're muted.
There's my cat. Look at my cat right there.
My
There you are.
headset ran out of battery there.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
No bueno.
Fancy.
All right, so I'm up here.
You are.
Yeah, number 3.
Okay, so number 3, I feel like nobody will have seen this. It's a movie called Split Second with Rutger Hauer.
Ooh, no, I haven't. I like Rutger Hauer though.
So
1992. Kim Cattrall's in it.
So I used to basically I remember the reason why I watched this is I remember seeing this the cover looks actually really cool, I think.
Yeah.
Looks like
and
Universal Soldier.
I used to see well actually that's not even the one because there's a monster in it, and the cover that I used to see like had a monster behind him, and I remember seeing this as a VHS tape in this movie rental place, and I used to like want to get it. It was like next to Alien and Terminator and all this other stuff. It was amongst all of these actually really, really good scary or sci-fi or horror movies. And at that point, I did not even know who Rutger Hauer was. But I was like, oh, I kind of want to see this. I never did. So then I saw it on Prime or something like that for free. And I was like, well, I read the description, and actually even the premise is awesome. It's like they're in this city it's a futuristic, almost kind of cyber. It's like going towards cyberpunk, but the whole city is like flooded. So there's just water everywhere. And he's like a detective or a private eye. I think he's a detective, and people are starting to get murdered in horrible fashion. And somehow he has some sort of like, he's like old partner was murdered in the same way, and he's like trying to track down what's going on. Premise awesome, main like the actor's awesome, front of the thing's awesome. Movie is just terrible. It's one of those things where it's like you're watching it, and it seems like scenes are missing, where all of a sudden you're like, why are you so cozy, or like is this half of a conversation that happened earlier? The monster's not good. It doesn't show up. There's a lot of just like little bits and pieces. I feel like it doesn't show up until like the very end, and it's like not even the monster itself is a disappointment. And I think there's like just a ridiculous scene at the end where somebody's hanging upside down in a sewer. It's weird. And also like people, it's like supposed to be this thing that it's a thing, but like people die in like the bathroom of a busy club bar. So it's not like people are getting killed in alleyways. It's like, wait, how did that happen? It was a mess. And it's unfortunate because I've wanted to see it since I was a kid, and it did not live up to the other movies that were next to it.
All right, I've got bad news for you. So, box office gross for this movie when it came out in '92 was $4.8 million. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I
mean, the budget was only 7, apparently. So
it still lost money. Audience scores.
It had to be.
Audience score is 56%. There is no tomatometer score because it only has 4 reviews. So you get a blank for this one. So it doesn't affect your average.
I do, yeah, it's a shame. Like, I do like looking at the poster that that Nate was referring to, like, yeah, it looks like a RoboCop
That's
style
cool.
poster.
Yeah.
It looks pretty
It's
dope.
like a hulking thing behind it. It looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and like,
That's
Yeah.
not
and it
what
says-
it's not what you get.
yeah.
Like
And
the
yeah.
way they even play it out is like, oh, it's just military. Like it's just everything about this on paper is great. But yeah, you don't really see much. It's just a lot of like flashing of teeth and random stuff. And when you finally see, you're like, wow, that's terrible. Thank you.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't sound like Blade Runner meets Alien, like the box says.
You won't know unless you see
Again,
it.
on paper, it sort of sounds like it. It's this futuristic cyberpunk thing. He's wearing a trench coat all the time with gloves, and yeah, it's not good.
The movie info synopsis is: a policeman, Rutger Hauer, hunts a slimy monster ripping out hearts in 2008 London, which is wet from global warming.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's funny.
Pretty
It's just like
progressive.
how long global warming has been a thing in media and just
Oh yeah.
And we're just not
popular
believing it.
discourse, academia.
Yeah.
Like forever, this has been a thing. Waterworld.
Yeah.
Because it's because the ice caps melted, dude. People weren't like, "Oh, I can't watch Waterworld because it's political." They were like, "Oh, I don't like this movie." It's crazy how long this has been around. It's never been an issue. People, I want to see somebody like boycotting Split Second. Like, I want to see somebody's at a protest with Split
Climate
Second.
change denial.
Rutger Hauer.
That's why I didn't get more people in the seats.
Actually, it
People
was
were boycotting it.
it was apparently the LA riots. That was the reason they didn't get more butts and seats.
Oh man, bad timing.
Yeah.
That would do
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
so you can, if your score isn't low enough, you can probably swap in one of your honorable mentions in there.
Mhm.
All right, let's see.
We'll see.
Since apparently that's the thing we're gonna do.
Yep.
For Sean's sake.
Look, you just wait until one of your movies is
Yeah.
is
Once
a
you get
mistake,
burned.
and you'll be
Oh.
like, yeah, we were gonna do that the whole time.
This one might do it. I'm afraid, because it's a Wachowski's movie. We watched this last summer, I think, when we were doing our movie parties, our Netflix watch parties. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, because it's clearly a trilogy they tried to cram into one movie, and that is Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
movie is awful.
I was confused
Yeah.
the entire time watching this.
Yeah. And it definitely feels like three separate movies with each act. And it doesn't work. And some of the ideas are kind of interesting, but you get shotgunned through so many of them that it's just like, no, I can't do this.
Mm.
Sorry, Wachowskis, but this was not good.
They're allowed to miss every once in a while.
Yeah, they can't all be zingers, you know. Like,
They've only really kind of hit
Shut up.
with one movie.
Shut up.
The rest of them have not done well.
See, I will say, like, yeah, like obviously, I enjoy The Matrix. Yeah, Jekka's here now. Jupiter Ascending, right? I just see her just sitting on the couch doing whatever. They're talking
Somebody's
about
talking about Jupiter Ascending.
it. I gotta get on Twitch.
What a terrible movie.
But like, yeah, the Wachowskis, like, I liked the Matrix movies. I honestly did.
Yeah. How can you not?
And like Speed Racer, while it is a fucking trip, it's actually not bad, and it's a decent adaptation of a 60s 70s anime. Like, it's really, they did a decent job with it. But they can't all be zingers.
Have they produced anything else other than, because they were on V for Vendetta, right? And that was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
they
good.
produced it.
That was good. Let's see.
This one's my highest one so far, but it's not terrible.
Films.
All right. Audience score is 38%. Tomatometer is 27%.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's not terrible.
Producer Speed Racer, Ninja Assassin. They produced that one, didn't deliver.
I enjoy it. I own that movie.
Cloud Atlas,
I wonder why.
which was Not
Oh, yeah, I
bad,
remember
but
that.
confusing. Mostly confusing. I think it was sort of like a lead up. I think Jupiter Ascending is
Yellowface.
what Cloud Atlas was aiming. What Cloud Atlas could have been had it been worse.
I think this was definitely a shot at a franchise, and I think as production went on, they were probably like, "This is not good," and so they were just like, "Okay, let's just try and do the whole story in one go."
Is it completely original material?
I think so. I don't think it's an adaptation of anything.
Yeah, Jekka, these are all terrible movies. If you haven't caught on yet, yeah, Birdemic is supposed
Thanks,
to be
Brian.
awful, which is why it's on our list somewhere.
Yeah, that one's
So,
that one is
Yeah,
was bad on purpose, and I'm mad that someone paid money to make it.
Except
Yeah.
for Super Mario Brothers, which is a fantastic movie.
incorrect.
It's just rated poorly. Look, if Sausage Party can be an 80 whatever percent,
82.
okay,
82.
I'm just saying.
If we're gonna keep talking about Sausage Party, I'm gonna keep coming back to Human Centipede.
No.
No,
All right,
no,
we're gonna move on.
no.
We're gonna move on.
Okay, moving on. Here we go. So, Sean, number 2. Oh no, yeah, we're at
Oh,
number 2s.
Yeah, we're at number 2.
Oh, we are.
We are.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on 5 and 4,
Yep.
and we kind of burned through number 3s.
Oh God, no, Jekka, no. Human Sausage Party.
No.
Yeah, combine them. Oh man.
I don't know.
Oh no, yeah. Okay.
I'm sure that's already a Rule 34.
It's a new
Sure.
trilogy.
I don't want it. All right.
All right. Sean.
Let's cleanse that palate, Sean. What's
Oh yeah,
what's
let's
your
cleanse this palate.
what's your second
let's-
worst movie?
So when I was a youngin, my friend from high school really enjoyed this comedian and convinced me to go see his
I know what this is.
his full-length movie in theaters.
Can I say the
Ryan,
title?
what is this?
Freddy Got Fingered.
This is Freddy Got Fingered by Tom Green.
Yeah, that's
I almost picked this, except I remembered I have not seen it.
I was scrolling through trying to find like bad movies because I've had problems like figuring out which movies I've seen because normally I like movies that I watch and like they're hard to come by. So I was like, oh yeah, I did see that and I saw that in theaters. Ugh. And it was bad.
I have
Everything about it was bad. He like harasses his parents and it's dumb. It's dumb.
What is the premise?
It's just Tom Green being Tom Green.
Yeah.
And, like there's some like thinly veiled like story. He's a struggling cartoonist trying to pitch an animated show to Hollywood execs. When he fails, he returns to his hometown with no choice but to live with his parents. And then he just like harasses people, and he claims his dad is a molesting Freddy. His younger brother is Freddy, and he claims that his dad is molesting Freddy, leading to drastic consequences. Because
I
because
would not
he
have guessed
couldn't
that.
because he couldn't get anywhere with his cartooning career, he decided to ruin his family's life. I was like, okay, great, all right,
Yeah.
yay.
Um,
It was awful. I hated every minute of it. Some cost kept me in my seat, and the fact that my friend drove. If I remember correctly, he laughed the entire time. He loved it. It was bad. It was bad.
All
right. So
Yeah, what's the
I didn't
score?
cleanse the palate.
this is a redeemer. Audience score is 56%.
Ugh,
Critical score or tomatometer is 11%.
thank you.
Nice.
There
So-
we go.
That is actually one of the lowest. That's the third lowest
Yes, so far.
after Left Behind. So
Yeah.
you have 2 of the 3 lowest now. but you also have the absolute highest one.
But I like how I do like, yeah, Sean, you plan to do these in like ascending level of hatred.
Mm.
And like
I'm
you
curious what the
started
most
like,
hated
yeah,
is.
you gave us Left Behind to start and we're like 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, okay, shit. Where do we go from
82.
1? And it's clear you should have just moved Left Behind up a few spots now that we have a little bit of a track record going on.
No,
Yeah.
but see, Left Behind was fun.
No, I think your friends made it fun, but
Yeah.
I think if you saw it alone, it would be less fun.
Oh god. Oh yeah.
All
See,
right.
Jekka, just to clarify, this isn't even the Left Behind, like the Kirk Cameron Left Behinds,
Yeah,
of which
It's-
there are
This is-
too many.
this is Nick Cage
This is the
one.
Nick Cage
Yeah.
one. Like,
because of the theater, it was funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
The group we were with. All right, Nate, hit us with number 2.
Mr. Nate.
Cleanse our palate.
All right, so my number 2 is Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh man,
These games were great.
The games were
this
great.
movie.
So okay, so the trailer for this, I feel like the trailer for this movie is incredible.
It
They,
is.
picked,
It
they,
is.
they did like the Marilyn Manson song in the background. They've got the slow motion, like angels crashing through stuff, and it's like, I mean, he's wearing all black with his coat. I mean, it's just, it speaks to me. Let me put it to you like that. It speaks to me. So the story behind when I actually got to watch this was, I was like sort of, so I basically had met this girl at like a Halloween party or whatever, and she's like, oh, I'm going to the theater with some friends. We're gonna go see Twilight. Is there some other movie, like basically like we could go early? Like I'm like, oh, I kind of want to see Max Payne. And so I've made her and her friends sit through Max Payne first. And it was terrible. It was so bad. I was like, oh man, why did I do this?
I'm also
And-
looking and realizing that this was rated PG-13. How
Yeah.
was this PG-13?
They had to edit a bunch of they had a bunch of bullet time stuff in the movie, and a lot of those were the bullet went from gun to man's face,
They just cut the last part
and
out.
they cut the last part, or they cut the blood.
Oh god.
It just
so-
exploded like the birds in Birdemic.
Yeah.
Poof. Yeah. So anyway, like so now I don't have a good gauge on whether Twilight's good because I enjoyed Twilight, but that might have just been like
In context.
recovery. Like I was like, thank God. I was like, this is actually a constructed story.
There's
You
a
know, I don't know if
cohesive
it's all
storyline.
constructed. The acting was fine. I honestly don't even remember much about Max Payne. I just remember watching it, and like by the end of the movie, I was like, I don't know what's going on. That's how I felt about Max Payne.
Like,
So the moral of the story is anyone could like Twilight if they watch Max Payne before it.
It's preceded by Max Payne.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
So now I don't know if
there's so many things that it's just like, yeah, they changed like how because the whole deal in Max Payne is all the angels and shit. Like he's on a drug trip the whole through part of it, and there's
Yeah.
a little bit of that in the game, but it's mostly like this is clear this is a hallucinogen that this man has been forced to take, and now, but it's just like demons. There are demons everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I saw it and I was like, oh, sweet. It's going to be like Constantine. I really liked Constantine. And
yeah, Constantine
It
was
was-
great. I own that.
yeah, it was not good.
Nope.
It was
Yeah,
not
that's
bad.
that's a great way to describe Max Payne. Not Constantine.
Like,
All right.
yeah, no, I agree. So what's the score
Mark
on Max
Wahlberg.
Payne?
29% audience score. Tomatometer. Tomatometer.
Bring it
whatever,
down.
16%.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm still
nice.
going the right
Yeah.
direction.
So you're down to 22.3.
Nice.
There you go.
Creeping up.
22.3 repeating.
What was my average?
Right now, yours is at 30.75.
Ugh. Ugh.
Still
Which-
going down.
It's purely Sausage Party bringing you up because
Yeah.
everything else you have is lower than that.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
In fact, without Sausage Party, Sean,
Yeah,
you're
what
at
is it?
13.6 repeating. You are the lowest.
Yeah,
Fucking Sausage
if we
Party.
discount that.
Sausage Party is totally screwing you over.
Fuck you, Seth Rogen.
All right, I'm going to do mine real quick
Do
because
yours.
it's already been talked about.
Okay.
Mine is Birdemic.
Aha!
That's my second place worst movie.
Aha!
So that
I did not expect anyone else to have bothered to watch this.
yeah, it's real bad. So right now, Ian, you and I are tied at 15, but you're about to go. So
I am.
we'll see.
And we'll see
Blank,
if that.
blank.
See if it makes it worse. All right, so my number 2, I got to look up and remember what it is. Okay. See, I was on the fence about whether I should put this as number 1 or number 2. But this is one of the worst adaptations of a beloved piece of media that anyone has ever seen. It was just thoroughly disappointing beginning to end with only a few minor exceptions. It is The Last Airbender.
I wish I'd have thought of this one. I haven't seen it though.
It is like going from just like it's just so clear that M. Night Shyamalan did not see Avatar. Like just didn't fucking watch any part of the show, even the first episode. And he was just reading off scripts. And
this goes back to the DVD thing. Do you want to see the translation? Do you want to see the script? Like, do you want to see the words? Like, nah, no, that's fine. I'll just look at the pictures.
Yeah, let's like I really think I understand Ung's character here. His name is pronounced Ung in the
movie is
not Ang.
Man.
Ung. And like the only shining the only shining moments in the movie are honestly the 3 lead actors for the Fire Nation. Dev Patel is actually a half decent Zuko. He's not bad, in all honesty.
He's pretty good in most things he's in.
Yeah, like he's pretty good. Asif Manvi from the fucking Daily Show was a really good surprise villain. Like he was actually a really good. I can't remember the general's name. I watched Avatar like 3 weeks ago, but I already forgot. Yeah, General Zhao. Like he was actually a pretty good General Zhao. Shit, I'm blanking on the name of the dude that played Iroh.
Sean Toub.
Sean Toub, yeah. He actually was like, it's sort of appropriate that Iroh is the best character in the movie because he's one of the best characters in the show. That's the only thing that Shyamalan got right, was Iroh being actually a good character. But like, yeah, there are so many.
Apparently, they pronounce his name differently in the movie.
Yeah, like in the same scene. Like, it's just. And then all of the shit surrounding the casting of the movie was just highly questionable. Like,
isn't the lead kid he only hired because of his martial arts prowess and he's never acted before? Yeah,
and like they made the Southern Water Tribe people who are traditionally Inuit based, white, fax paper white. One of the dudes from Twilight plays Sokka. Like all the
POCs are the bad guys.
Well, and that not just like in specifically, but like the Fire Nation is very specifically Middle Eastern Indian, Arabic Indian, like Persian, like they've straddled the Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. And it's just like, and especially like for Shyamalan,
he's a brown person.
Like it's like, such a choice to make that's just incredibly confusing. And then Aang is white. Just
white savior.
Yeah, he is. And like the 3 primary firebending actors actually like gave a shit and did a good job. So honest props to them for being for trying in what was obviously such a bad movie.
Yeah, it was crazy how hard it was to follow what was going on in the movie when like I've seen the series multiple times through. Like I knew the story already, and I was watching the movie, and there'd be parts where I'm like, "What the hell? Where are they? What's going on right now?"
All right. Well, this is definitely going to put Ian in the lead.
Oh, I hope so.
Wait, let me
So,
guess. Is it 6%?
Audience score is 30%. Very close, Nate. The tomatometer is 5%.
Ooh.
That's our new third lowest.
Nice.
So your average is now 12.5.
Okay.
So you're edging me out by 2.5 points there.
Okay.
Which means I may have to take a risk and swap out one of my honorable mentions for Jupiter Ascending.
I mean, you may. See, so far, unless my number one is really fucking disappointing score-wise, and I'm really worried it might be, I may sit pat. But we'll see. Because now I'm worried that my number one is actually going to be rated higher than.
Well, I know I'm swapping no matter what.
Yeah.
Wait, are you going to swap out Left Behind?
Yep, Left Behind is out. We're bringing in the other Left Behind, baby.
Nick Cage for Kirk Cameron. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to put Empire Strikes Back right in there.
Somebody should have put just a really good movie. Like that would be the joke right there.
The Godfather.
A really good movie in your honorable mentions and try and convince people that you're not trolling. Like this has got to suck, right? I've heard.
I laughed too much. I couldn't do it. Raiders of the Lost Ark is my honorable mention.
It's got to be one that like you really convince people. It's like, has anyone even heard of this movie? I'm not
what's
familiar with it.
What's the highest rated movie on here? I'm curious. Is there a way to see that?
There are a couple movies that are rated as 100%.
We'll do that later.
There was one that hit recently. I can't remember what it is. We'll figure that out while we take a quick break.
Sounds good.
We will we'll come back and we'll sort of juxtapose what the best movies on Rotten Tomatoes are as compared to the shit that we're displaying for you here.
So one thing, definitely throw some stuff up in the chat, but please don't post any Rotten Tomato scores because we still have some more things to go in, and the rules of the game are we can't know what it is before we do it. So
got to be a surprise for everybody.
Yeah, if you want to play the game that Melanie proposed, guess a movie with a lower tomato rating than Avatar, The Last Airbender. Go for it, but don't tell us what the actual number is.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Did somebody independently come up with that game? Because that's my game. Guess a movie with a lower tomato rating than Avatar.
Oh, I think it's a popular one.
Is it always Avatar?
It's very difficult.
We have two of them. We have
do.
two of
Just
them.
through sheer luck.
Okay, but like we prepared. I mean, we prepared for this. If you just go up to a random person on the street and say, name a movie,
that's worse.
They're going to pick some terrible movie and they're going to get like Sean, where they're like, oh, it's 80%. What?
It's clearly Sausage Party. All right, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. We will be back. We'll be back in a couple minutes, and we will do our honorable mentions and our number ones. So please stay with us.
Yeah,
We should
solid.
do this. We should do this with games and stuff.
Yeah, we should. We should do this show with games. Hello, welcome back. um, so, let's recap some scores here real quick.
Okay.
So I'll just go through the list here, just person to person. So Brian is at the beginning of the spreadsheet that he made for some reason, and his overall score is 15 across the 4 movies he's picked, going from a 0 for Three Ninjas. Now, is that a 0 or is that a blank?
It's an actual 0.
Is it multiple
Yeah,
people
if you
actually
if you
rated
look it
0?
up.
Oh god.
Yeah, if you actually look it up, it's 0.
My
I needed
goodness.
one more to get a 0 probably. On split second. He just made the cutoff.
Yeah.
And then we got 15 for Priest. Bumping up to 27 for Jupiter Ascending, and then back down to 18 for Birdemic. I'm a much more tighter spread. Much more tighter. God. Dragon Ball, 15. The Mummy, Dragon Emperor, 12. 18 for Birdemic again, and a nice low 5 for Last Airbender. Sean, 1% for Left Behind, and then a shocking 82%. 8
I still can't
2
believe that.
for Sausage Party, which ain't friggin' right. Back down to 29 for Human Centipede 2, and 11 nice and low for Freddy Got Fingered. And then Nate bringing it in with 28 for Super Mario, 23 for The Room, a blank score, not enough reviews for Split Second, which is telling in and of itself.
Why did Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain get enough, but Split Second did? I don't get it.
It's more recent by a few years, I guess.
No, it's because there's a lot of like Hulk Hogan fans, and they're like, "Well, this will not stand.
This
Can't
must
have a
be
blank
rated
on
0.
here."
And then Max Payne for 16. So currently, raw aggregate score, or average score, I'm winning with 12.5. Because we're playing by golf rules.
Yeah.
But it's still anybody's game, really, because it's 15, 12.5, 30, 22. Like, we're one good movie in any direction can swing this.
Yeah. And we've decided there's an audible where you can swap in one of your honorable mentions for one of the movies on your list, which will alter your score. I wonder which one Sean's going to switch.
Who can
But
say?
we'll see.
Who could say?
So
No.
now we are at our honorable mentions. So Nate, what do you have for us for your honorable mentions?
Okay, so I picked my honorable mentions. Well, one of them is The Last Airbender, which I put under my honorable mentions because I already knew what the Rotten Tomato score was. Hence why that's the one that I used to play games with. So I decided to put it here instead. And that is a terrible movie. And I saw it in theaters and it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And the other one I put was Hobgoblins. And the reason why I put Hobgoblins in my honorable mentions is the first time I saw it, it was through Mystery Science Theater 3000, which picks bad movies, and also there's a riff track on top. I believe there's a little more validity in that I actually own the DVD of Hobgoblins with Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I've watched it, I would say, at least 5 to 6 times. And it's a terrible movie. It's basically just kind of like Gremlins, but they're hobgoblins instead, and they like escape from this freezing facility, and they kind of go on a rampage in this town, and there's just like a bunch of these, I want to say like college age or like young adult kids in this house. And there's a lot of, I think the thing that really makes it terrible is the kids. There's a lot of like made up drama between the kids, like love triangles and stuff. And the best scene in the movie is a really terribly choreographed rake fight where They just have rakes, and all they do is they just go like this back and forth over and over and over again. But like there's like a very extreme sound. It's just like wee, 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 and they just like are circling around just these two guys, and while like there are women next to them just like stop, don't do it. It's a ridiculous scene. There's also like a dreamy sequence. I think it's, if I remember correctly, they play off of what you want, like your dreams. So like there's this one girl who's like obsessed with performing or something. She wants to be a performer, and there's this weird dreamy sequence where she's performing in front of all these people, but like somehow the hobgoblins use that to kill you. I don't remember the specifics, but it's a terrible movie. I put it here. I wasn't really sure what the score was going to be, but I put it here because I'm like, I don't want to pick something from MST3K because they purposely pick terrible movies, like terrible movies that you would never have heard about otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
My two honorables.
So before I talk about my honorables,
did you want to swap that one of those, or what? Did you want to swap?
Are we doing that now?
Yeah. Well, you know what the score for Airbender is. So do you want to swap in Hobgoblins in for split second for your blank?
So I wanted to ask, do we allow, if you already know the score, are you allowed to switch that one out?
I don't care. I'm just doing it because that's the way I want to. I don't want to.
No swap?
I don't want to pick Avatar because I know what it is. Hobgoblins, I could. I mean, I might as well put it in for a split second because split second doesn't have a score. So at least I'll have a score there, whether it's higher or lower. I don't.
Okay,
that's
whatever.
true. Yeah. So it might drop you down.
All right.
Or
let's see.
Or it might also be blank. Who knows?
It's a strong possibility that's blank.
It's got one review. It's blank.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay.
So
no change.
An effort was made.
There we go.
Right. Boom. Okay. So my turn.
Wait, is it blank?
Yeah.
It is
It is blank.
One review.
It's not surprising.
11 for audience score.
Yeah, audience score 11. All right, so I have 3 on my honorable mentions. One of them has been, well, I'll tell you. Okay, so the 3 honorable mentions are Barbed Wire, The Room, and Willow's Way. So I didn't. Willow's Way is a locally made film, and I got a free ticket to the premiere because a friend of mine worked on it. It's real bad. That's the one where I asked my friend to see if it had a score, and it didn't. So I put it in my honorable mentions. You can buy it on Amazon. Don't. It's not worth it. Don't pay money to see it.
Okay, but how much is it on Amazon? Is the question.
Oh, I think it's like $18 or something.
Let's go find out. We have the technology.
There's no way of knowing. So The Room, I thought it might have a big enough cult following that it might have a high score, so I decided not to put it on there, but it's an awful movie, so it should be noted.
I don't think it's on Amazon.
How much is Willow's Way?
I don't see it.
I found it.
Oh.
New. $29.95.
Not worth. No, don't.
Used,
don't even do it.
Used $5.44.
There you go. And then Barbed Wire. This was like the Pam Anderson action movie from the 90s. I might swap that in for Jupiter Ascending.
Because that can't have a good score.
What was the context in which you watched Barbed Wire, though?
Dude, that came out in the 90s, and I had hormones, so I think
what
like
is
we
the
had HBO
premise?
and Showtime.
What's the premise of Barbed Wire?
It's kind of like Barbarella. She's like kind of like an action hero.
All right, let me read that. A sexy nightclub owner, Barbed Wire, moonlights as a mercenary in Steel Harbor, one of the last free zones in the now fascist United States. When scientist Cora Devonshire wanders into Barb's establishment, she gets roped into a top-secret government plot involving biological weapons.
I just
Soon,
like
Barb
I just,
is reunited with her old flame Axel Hood, who is now Cora's husband and a guerrilla fighter, resulting in plenty of tense action.
what I love there
Yeah.
in that whole plot summary is that the idea that a nightclub owner would be moonlighting.
Steel Harbor.
All
Yep,
right.
just
I'm swapping it.
they're just at work during the boring stuff during the day, and then they're like, "Well, I gotta go. Good luck, guys."
You're
Yeah.
doing the swap?
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the score now. I'm doing the swap.
Okay.
Uh-oh!
Swapping it for Jupiter.
Uh-oh!
Oh, it's the same score.
Well done.
Oh my god.
Oh, hilarious.
2 swaps and no changes to the score at all.
I feel like from that premise, I would watch it. Scientists, there's crazy stuff going on.
Fascist U.S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fascist U.S. I mean, come on.
They live in a place called Steel Harbor.
Yeah.
It's probably in Maine. It's like Bar
See,
Harbor.
that sounds like somewhere in Detroit to me. Like,
Probably.
I like this
All right.
review. Its main source is a comic book, but it might as well be a computer.
Computer.
Oh god.
computer.
All right. Well, that's mine. So, Ian, what are your honorable mentions?
My first honorable mention is actually one of my favorite movies. It is Tropic Thunder.
Really? That's not a bad movie.
That's a good movie.
But
That's
that's
not
the thing.
bad.
Funny.
I put it. Oh, that's why it's honorable mention. Like that one actually, I'm sure has a half decent Rotten Tomatoes score. I haven't looked it up. It is honestly
82.
okay. Yeah, it is honestly one of my favorite movies, and it's because it's a movie. The first time I saw it in theaters, I hated it. I was like, this movie's stupid.
Really?
Why did I watch it? But then another group of friends wanted to see it, and I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad. I'll go watch it again. There were some funny jokes. Second time I watched it, I'm like, I get it. And I've since bought it like 3 times on different formats.
Yeah. It's
'cause
pretty phenomenal.
Because I had it on DVD and then I bought it on Blu-ray, but I found out that like the director's cut, because there is a director's cut, was only on DVD or Blu-ray, or it wasn't part of the one that I bought, so I bought that as well. If you own it, the commentary is amazing. Robert Downey Jr. does honestly do the DVD commentary in character until the very end of the movie.
So good.
It's these 3 men, Jack Black, Ben Stiller, and Robert Downey Jr. doing the commentary. It's honestly one of my favorites, but it is a highly problematic movie on purpose. Like it makes fun
Yeah.
of the mentally challenged. It makes fun of it like almost promotes blackface and drug use, and it's very anti-Asian in some places. So it's just like
Yeah.
it's highly problematic, but all of it in parody, and it knows that it's doing it the whole time, so it sort of makes it better. And it just shows, look at these morons. Look at them.
What Hollywood people will go, like the lengths they'll go to try and make a movie.
Yeah.
The moment, spoilers, the moment when the director walks away and is like, all right, let's go shoot. And then, boom. And they're all just like,
Landmine.
wow, great effects. This is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just vaporized by a landmine. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Ridiculous.
honestly love it. So, going into actually bad movies for my honorable mentions, my number 3, Snakes on a Plane. It is a bad movie,
Mhm.
but like similar to Sean, like the theater experience I had when I watched it was amazing. I saw it at the cheap seats up in Bangor, where they ran like second run movies. So I saw it for like $3 as a matinee. And there were like 8 of us in the theater, no one sitting next to each other. And when Sam L. Jackson does the line, I am sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Everyone sit tight. I'm gonna go open some windows. Standing ovation. 8 people in this theater.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the critic consensus. Snakes on a Plane lives up to its title, featuring snakes on a plane. It isn't perfect, but then again, it doesn't need to be.
Yep. And like similar to Birdemic, It's like it's one of those animal disaster movies that just didn't really need to happen, but they did it. And it's like Sam L. Jackson just carries it. It's a one-man show. Always was gonna be.
Yeah.
So
Is there
That-
any other like? Are there any other names in it?
not that I know.
I don't know. I don't think so.
There were other actors. I remember them. but-
Kenan Thompson.
Oh, that's right. Kenan Thompson lands the fucking plane. That's right. Kenan Thompson is just a dude playing a Game Boy the whole time until the pilot dies, and Sam L. Jackson is like, "You get in this fucking cockpit." And the second best part of the movie to me is they land. Like Kenan Thompson, because he's been playing flight sim, like lands the plane, but doesn't know all the switches and knobs, so that doesn't know where the brakes are for the plane, and they're going in towards the terminal. And Sam L. Jackson looks at him and is like, "Left, Troy, left. Turn this big motherfucker left." And I was just like, "Oh my god." So the rest of the movie, I honestly draw a blank on, but Kenan Thompson is actually a hidden gem in that movie. Way before this was in between his All That and Saturday Night Live careers too. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So yeah, Snakes on a Plane, bad movie. To similar vein, Sharknado. Don't need to say more. Sharknado. The only thing I like about it is that the helicopter pilot, like the son or whatever, is definitely got his like shirt with some semi-military looking patches on it from Kohl's, because that's where I got mine. I have the same shirt.
Which Sharknado are we talking about? Are we talking about Sharknado 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I only saw the first one. I didn't see
believe there are 5
Sharknado.
movies.
One of them is like "No, Not Again," is the subtitle or something. Like,
Did you guys see Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus?
Yes.
I feel like that was like
Oh.
the first of those things, right? Of like ridiculous shark-related apocalypses.
yeah,
I watched the first one and I was like, "This was well constructed. It was weird and it's supposed to be terrible and tongue in cheek, but actually, I watched it. I was like, okay, this is like, it's like it's a shade above crap, where it's like, well, it's all the building pieces are like crap, right? They take all this crap, but then somehow they manage to get it like just enough where you actually find the characters somewhat interesting, somewhat compelling. That's where like it's still like made out of the same building material, right?
Oh,
but
yeah. It's still a house made of crap, but you do have a house at the end.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure like the effect for the shark swimming is just reused over and over, and sometimes they mirror it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it at first.
Well, all those are terrible because they always use, and it makes sense. You need to be able to see the sharks, so they just use sharks that are very obvious, like you can see the surface.
Yeah.
But like it's supposed to be like, oh man, it's the sharks. They're attacking from like outside of this deep sea base that's like miles down, and they'll be like, oh no, there it is. It's like it's like maybe 5 feet below the surface. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
good stuff.
Like, it's so bad. So my number one, and this is an honorable mention because I have to say I did not actually finish watching it, but it is Transformers: Dark of the Moon. I watched.
Is this your number one or is this an honorable mention?
This is my number one
Honorable
honorable mention.
Uh-uh.
Because
he rated his honorable mentions.
yeah,
I
sort
don't
of,
think the rest of us did.
sort of. I always have
Snuck
like
another top 5 in there.
I always have one honorable mention that's more honorable than the rest. But this one, like, I watched 10 minutes of this movie and turned it off.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Which
I watched
10 minutes?
the first 10. Like, the
Oh.
opening credits, and then Shia LaBeouf bitching about how he can't ride the Transformers coattails to fame. But he has a new hot girlfriend to replace his old supermodel girlfriend.
Right.
And then I was just like, nah, I'm fucking done. Like, we're done.
Over to Bob's Burgers we go.
Yep, and I never. This is actually the third one. I never saw the second one. I never saw Revenge of the Fallen. So I was just like, I'm just gonna
Bad.
skip to this, and because I heard this one was better, and we'll see if it is. And I didn't see 90% of it. Couldn't do it.
It's I hope it wasn't the first Transformer movie was really good. As far as like Shia LaBeouf goes, like I don't know like his personality wise, but he's made some really solid he's had some really solid performances. And like I wonder like how like I'd like to hope that like the experience of the Transformer movies and how it just turned to complete shit. And I would say not due to him, right? It's just like that's Michael Bay.
They're
Just
bad
like
movies, and I
he's
mean,
just like, well, now I can print money, so I don't care anymore. I'll just reuse footage and terrible storylines and stuff like that. And hopefully, I mean, Shia survived it and was able to actually progress into other stuff. So,
well, and I will say of his acting talent, like he was an annoying, whining little shit that I wanted to punch in the face. So he conveyed that emotion really well.
yeah.
Like he really brought that home for me.
All right. So, do you want to swap any of them?
And no wonder Ian approved it. He's got 5 friggin' on his side on his sideboard. He's got 5 cards. We're supposed to have 2.
I don't think you need to.
No, I'm pretty happy. I'm in the lead right now, and I don't want to mess that up. Though,
All
am
right.
I allowed to swap my number 1? Because I don't know any of the scores for my honorables.
I don't. Are we allowing that? Anyone?
I don't care. Flip a coin.
No, fuck it.
No,
No. Okay.
no swaps on number
We're
1s.
we're screwed. Yeah.
Okay,
I hope you
Okay.
picked well.
We're doing
All
it
right,
live.
Sean.
all right.
Here you go.
I have one honorable mention. I'd like to swap it out for Sausage Party.
What
Matt?
is it, Sean?
I set a rule for myself, and the reason this was on honorable mentions is I didn't want to just load my list up with 5 Nicolas Cage movies.
Sure.
And so this is Wicker Man.
Okay. So this is what year was the Nick Cage one?
Like 2000 something.
It's not the 1960s one. I'll tell you that. Not the one featuring
2006.
Not the one featuring Sir Christopher Lee, who actually considered his version of the Wicker Man one of his best performances.
I've heard like it's a legit good movie. So.
It honestly is. And like
The old one is?
the old one, because like
Yeah.
it, you know, they
But does he say how to get burned?
no.
How to get burned? How to get burned?
He also doesn't say no, not the bees.
Not the bees!
All right. Well, you'll be happy to hear that it will lower your score by a significant amount.
Yes.
You will be now. It's a 15%.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh,
See,
nice.
Drops
Well
you to 14.
Oh, see, this is what I'm
So-
saying.
It's getting tight.
Now you are in second place.
Okay, so let me just pop up the scoreboard real quick before we do these number 1s.
I'm pretty confident that my number 1 is just gonna fuck me because it's a bad. This is Sausage Party Part 2. It's a bad movie, but I just have a
Yeah.
bad feeling about it.
Yeah, I'm worried that mine's gonna bump my score instead of keep it where I want it.
I'm
But-
worried that mine doesn't have a score.
That would actually be probably fine. Like
So,
if everybody else bumps up or doesn't go down that far, you'd still be in good shape.
I'm just gonna say if I wanted to be a tool and assure my victory and just end the stream right now, I
You
win.
can't do that.
But
No.
I got a button that says end stream right here, my
We'll
friend.
just talk. We'll just talk about it
What
in
a
chat.
jerk. What a jerk.
But no, I won't. I couldn't bring myself to do that. So
Ooh.
number 1s.
All right.
Whose turn is it?
I think I go first, don't I?
Ryan, now, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So my number 1, I got in I think I got it in a bargain bin in a sleeve. It didn't even have a DVD case.
One of the Bull Moose specials.
And this was a time where I was looking for just bad martial arts movies, and I would watch it with some of my friends from high school, especially Steve-O. And this movie is called Pocket Ninjas. It's from 1997. If you look at the
What
yeah,
is this?
if you look
just...
at the cover, it looks like There's like a little kid dressed as Sub-Zero, a little kid dressed up as Scorpion, and like they all have like like a mop and a broom and stuff like that. They're wielding like household items. That is not what the movie is.
What?
The movie's even worse than that. So it was made. It was released in '97. It looks like it was made in like 1990. It's got some horrible montages. It's got like these kids trying to like there's the bad guys. I think there's like this little kid who's training the bad guys, and they're like being, "Oh, I can't do this," and that a lot of it is also like told from the perspective of like kids reading from like a magazine about martial arts and ninjas and stuff, or a comic book or something. It's really confusing, but it's a really terrible movie. And I don't even know if it has a score. I'm going to find out right now.
Why don't you love this? I don't understand.
This is one of the worst movies ever. Oh, shoot. It doesn't have a score.
Oh, no. How many reviews does it have?
Doesn't even have any.
How many audience? Oh, how many audience score? What's the audience score?
It doesn't have any.
Oh my God. It's lit.
Wait.
It's
Okay,
like it doesn't even exist.
What is it? To Wikipedia.
It doesn't even have a picture on Rotten Tomatoes. It just says Pocket Ninjas 1997.
Wait, so Pocket Ninjas is a 1994 action film according to Wikipedia.
Is it?
Based on a screenplay by Mark Williams.
IMDb says 97.
Pocket Ninjas was originally entitled Skate Dragons.
Because that would have made more sense.
Maybe the 97 version is a remake of the 94 version because they're like, we can do this better.
This is a different art. This is a different cover. Hold up. There are two Pocket Ninjas.
My God.
Wait.
What?
Categories, 1997 films. Hold on. There might be two. There might be two Pocket Ninjas, folks.
Oh, no.
It's the same guy.
It's got to be.
It doesn't bode well that, like, they're both... Neither of them would have a score at this point.
It's got like a 1.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Well, see, this Pocket Ninjas has a kid in a blue suit with a pair of scissors and a kid in a red suit with a broom, and then a kid in a green suit with a couple of tires on his shoulder or something. It's really bad picture. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Huh.
This is different.
Yeah, the cover art really has nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
I was honestly concerned.
It was first released to the foreign markets in 94. It was then released on VHS in the US in 97.
Okay, that's why.
Okay.
I was honestly concerned when you were leading in with the description of this, and it's like, yeah, it's got these kids, and they look like they're kids dressed up as these. I thought you were gonna then say it's actually little people.
No,
little
because they're
people
little
ninjas.
kids. It's meant to capitalize on three ninjas. Here's a quote. One of the characters, Tanya. That's why I became a vegetarian. I mean, the dead fish and the toxic waste. You never know what animals are exposed to now.
Got a point, man.
It's deep.
Got a point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, okay, so
can I borrow this
I will
movie?
stay at a 15 because it doesn't have a score.
I'm not gonna be able to get down there. I think I'm screwed.
Well, so now I just got to hope that the rest of you score higher than that.
We blow it. All right.
Does one of the guys have like a really creepy prosthetic chin? Is that what's going on here? Is that what I'm seeing?
know.
I looked him up.
Remember.
It doesn't say anything. I think that's just his chin.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I tried to sell it to Bull Moose.
And they
I
won't
don't
take
even
it.
know if I got any money for it.
Yeah, this don't scan.
This one copy has been spinning around Bull Moose's for the past 15 years.
Yeah. It's not even in a sleeve, so it would have been a D.
Yeah. Yeah, they would.
But I just wanted to get rid of it.
But
I'm
that
pretty
means they
sure.
would have taken it and then sleeved it again,
Yeah.
and
it's
just
going
put it back out for 97 cents.
For
Yeah.
some fool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got
Alright.
50 plus audience ratings, but 0 critic reviews.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. It's real bad though.
Hit us, Ian. What we got? What do you
Well,
got?
I mentioned Transformers: Dark of the Moon, And the reason why I wanted to try and give Transformers Dark of the Moon a shot is because I saw the first Michael Bay Transformers. And,
Why?
well, because at the time,
Are you saying that the first Transformers was bad?
Yes. I am saying
wasn't that
I am
bad.
saying that the first
It was bad.
Transformers was a fucking horrible movie. Megatron's in the
No.
movie for 5 minutes.
This is a bad move. This is a bad move.
Optimus is in the movie for about 20, and the rest of it is Sheila Beef bitching.
Yes.
But this is the thing. I hate this movie.
This is good
But
for you, Brian.
this movie clearly made enough money.
Is this actually your choice?
No, this is my real fucking choice, and this is why I was like, "Fuck, Airbender should have been number 1 on the list."
Good for you, Brian.
He's throwing it. He's throwing it.
Because I was sitting. This is why I asked, "Can I swap? Can I swap one of my honorables for number 1?"
Oh,
because
man.
I knew that this did well enough, even though everyone hated it, to do more.
I feel like it's at least 70%.
It's
It's not that high.
yeah. My guess is 60, which is worlds
Close.
higher than the rest of my list.
Yeah.
58.
58%.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, audience score is 85. This is a terrible freaking movie.
This is why people can't be trusted.
Yeah. This is
Like,
the fate of
Wow.
humanity is at stake. Those are the
Can-
first words of the
Can I-
synopsis.
can I
It's
please
certified fresh.
Can I please swap? See, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah, swap it, whatever.
I've heard they get better, but like, this was the start. For me, you could only go up, and then I was proven wrong.
Okay,
So-
yeah, you can swap.
Okay,
But
okay, all right.
you can't do Transformers Dark of the Moon because
yeah, that
you
one-
didn't watch all of it.
Yeah, that one doesn't count. That one doesn't count. It's got to either be Sharknado or Snakes on a Plane, and I do not
Yeah.
know the score for either. I'm gonna
Which
go with.
do you think?
Which is fuck. See, this is the thing. Like, they're both Sharknado spawned a franchise, and Snakes on a Plane is just it's a Sam L. Jackson solo piece. So it's just like they're both gonna be good, but like which one is lower than Transformers? Or are either of them lower than Transformers? This is the fucking question.
I feel like your honorable mentions were not strong.
No.
Yeah.
Not strong honorable mentions.
Like, you know what? No, I'm gonna. It's gonna be a fumble no matter what. Like, I'm gonna stay put. I'm gonna stay
You're
put.
staying?
Well,
Good
Wow.
choice. Good choice.
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna stay
throwing
put.
it. You're
Well
throwing
done.
it.
I'm
No,
gonna stay
that's
put.
a good choice.
'Cause, like,
Snakes on a Plane is a 69,
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
and Sharknado is a 74.
Oh,
I can't believe that shit. Yeah.
Bullet dodged. I'm still losing, but bullet
Ridiculous.
dodged.
Yeah, all your honorable mentions are like close to certified fresh.
Well,
It's
and there's some.
ridiculous.
It's just like they're those movies that were made to be bad from beginning to end,
Yeah,
but they
usually they
like
get good scores.
yeah. Well, it's and I'm willing to. Part of the thing, like Nate was saying, it's like these are not all the same reviewers. Like, if we were just looking at if we had sat 3 reviewers down in a screening room, chained them in there for a week, and made them each review these movies, and that was our data set, we would actually be pretty representative. Because guaranteed, like, there's some of these, like, Siskel and Ebert didn't review Birdemic. Not even on their fucking radar.
Well, that's just them being lazy.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
So
Fucking
it's
up.
just people who rate nothing but bad movies. But okay, so I fumbled, but I
Don't worry.
might still be able to do a late, get an interception
fumble
on
worse. I'm
on
gonna
the
fumble
end
worse.
and come
I'm-
through. So we'll see. So
Don't
Sean,
worry,
what do you
I'm-
got?
I'm fucking this up.
Okay,
All
what you
right.
got, Sean?
So I'm 99% sure that Ark and Ian were there. I think Brian was there. This was a movie that we saw. This was very early in my days when I first moved to the area. And it is categorically awful to the point where our friend Buck walked out, just left the fucking theater.
Also, not a man to leave a theater.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Mick left. At least walked out for a little bit and then came back. This movie involves two scientists who are married, and then they make a fucked up gene baby, and then the gene baby grows up, and then the gene baby seduces the dad, and then the mom's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you seduced the dad." And then the gene baby's like, "Don't worry," and then grows new bits and seduces the mom. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't fucking remember.
I'm pretty sure it assaults the mom.
Maybe it assaults the mom. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Splice. This movie's fucking awful. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. Yeah, Mel was there for that.
Yeah, I can say I was not. I have
maybe it was an assault.
I have been blessed with not seeing this movie.
Like it was not good. It was bad. But I feel like because it's some sciencey bullshit, these fucking critics are gonna fuck me over. Let's go find out.
You are correct.
I think they're gonna fuck you over.
So the audience score is 37. Tomatometer is 75.
Oh my god!
It is certified fresh.
Destroyed.
Oh,
wow, that's
man.
The film generally received positive reviews from critics, but grossed just 27 million against 30 million. Did not make its money back, despite critical acclaim.
Yeah.
Not actually critical acclaim, guys. It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Where the movie succeeds, and I think it does succeed overwhelmingly, is drawing you into an emotional relationship with its characters. No, it doesn't! Annalee Newitz from io9.com.
Here's another one here. It doesn't take its terrific premise quite as far as it should, but Splice is a smart, well-acted treat for horror fans. It takes it too goddamn far. Like, clearly that person just wanted a weird alien threesome.
No, it's fucking bad. It was so bad. Like, bad. Don't.
Certified fresh.
Don't.
Yeah, Sean is certified fresh, so I don't know, man.
So is fucking Sausage Party. Don't.
Okay. So Nate, what's your number one?
So, oh god. Okay.
Who came up with this fucking idea? This is bullshit.
So I just realized upon looking at my number one that it's another video game movie. So I'm a little bit cheating in that regard.
No, that's fine.
I don't think that's cheating.
No,
it's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah.
So this is a sequel, a video game movie sequel that's really awful. The original one is in the same vein of Super Mario Brothers, where it's fucking weird and awesome. This is none of that. It's just straight terrible. Somehow all of the acting fell off a cliff. They had returning characters and it was still terrible. The action's terrible. It's a bad movie. Do you know what it is, Ian?
I thought I did, but I'm not so sure.
This is a video game sequel?
Yeah, my vote is Lara Croft Tomb Raider Cradle of Life is my vote.
I've got a guess too.
But I don't know anymore.
Is it Blood Rain 2?
Sean, any guesses?
Because there aren't too many video game movies that get sequels.
Were there multiple Street Fighter movies?
Not live action.
I don't think so, no.
Unless you count the Legend of Chun-Li.
Then I have no. Oh, was it? Oh, wait. Was it the Mortal Kombat one?
Yeah, you started in Street Fighter. I'm like, there's no reason you're not going to get this.
Oh yes, then I agree.
So Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Where they replaced the best. They replaced the best part of it, which I feel like is Christopher, what's his name, as Raiden.
Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert.
Which is
whitewashing.
To be fair, obviously, like, yes, there's problematic aspects to that, but man, he was such a weird Raiden that had this like attitude.
He was.
He got a haircut.
The whole thing.
He was a good.
I was down with it.
Yeah.
I was down with it. It did not fit the lore at all, at all, and it was problematic. But man, he was hilarious when he was on the screen.
Overacting was so good.
My God.
It was really good. Wait, four?
It's got a 4%. So it wins the Avatar. I actually have a friend who says that this is their favorite movie of all time.
There is only one part of this movie that I like, and it echoes a problem and an issue that I had with the video game at the time too. Was like Raiden, strips himself of his godhood to fight for the Earth realm in the tournament. And someone, I can't remember who it is, just looks at him and says, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't one of the main characters from the game just die in the first 2 minutes? Doesn't Sonya or Johnny Cage just
Johnny
get
Cage.
murked?
I think it's Johnny Cage. Yeah, he tries to defend Sonya or something. It's not even the same Johnny Cage. I don't think it's the same Sonya. I don't think it's the same. It's
it's not the same Sonya.
It's basically they're like, well, guys, we kept they're like, well, we kept Liu Kang and Katana. That's good enough, right? And
that's all that matters.
Yep.
There's very quick. It's awful. Even the lore that they try and bring in, Sub-Zero shows up. You're like, didn't I kill you? I'm his brother. Okay. That's the scene.
Yeah, and I mean that's accurate.
I'm the good game, Sub-Zero,
but
it is, but it's just a weird thing to just suddenly bring in. I guess it makes sense because they want to bring Sub-Zero back, but yeah, man, I didn't even think of it. I probably would have put the new Mortal Kombat on this list as well. I thought it was terrible.
This movie is the reason why I haven't seen any other Mortal Kombat properties and kind of stopped playing the games. I really feel for Robin Shu, for being one of the people to go between the two movies. He was just trying to hold down that Liu Kang franchise, and
he was good.
It deserted him.
All right. So I have an idea we were talking about a final deduction. So here's my idea, and you guys can let me know if you want to tweak it or if you just think it's a bad idea. So the idea for the final deduction is we tally up how many of these movies everyone here has seen, and that person gets a deduction. We didn't talk about a deduction amount. So what I was thinking is we'll go through all the movies, see how many of us have seen them. Whoever has the biggest number, the difference between that and the next person down, that's how many points you lose.
Okay, so before we get into that, I want to go over one of my predictions.
Oh yeah, we didn't cover predictions.
Oh yeah. What do we got for predictions?
So should that also reduce pointage?
Well,
let's.
I think it's just fun.
That's just. I think it's fun because let's not worry about points for the predictions.
Okay.
All right. Splice will be mentioned multiple times. It should have been. Nate will have the lowest score. He didn't. Sean will have the highest score. I did. Human Centipede will be mentioned on all lists. It should have been. And Brian will have 4 honorable mentions. He only had 3.
Oh,
right. Okay. Ian, what do you got for predictions?
I also said that you would have a large number of honorable mentions. I said 6.
Nope.
I went high. But nope. You did not do that.
I did not. No.
One of my predictions was that the Tom Cruise
Mummy
would be higher than the Dragon Emperor, so we can check that. Let's see.
I don't know. I can look it up. But...
Yeah, let's see.
So what was the Mummy? Dragon Emperor was 12. Tom Cruise one is 16.
Yep.
Barely.
Yep. But it counts. I predicted.
Does count.
Yeah, he broke his leg on that movie.
Too bad. And then I said that there would be 4 video game movies.
I took
Nate's got 3.
Nate's got 3. But I think that's it, though. I think it's just.
Oh man, you're so close.
Even in honorable mentions, I don't think there were a lot of video game movies mentioned.
Nope.
No,
No,
'cause
Nate's the only one who got video game movies.
there are a lot of things that are video games, but they were not video games primarily. Like your Dragon Ball is a video game, but it was primarily an anime first. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I was gonna
Avatar.
pick some. I wish I could have picked some Uwe Ball movies because those are terrible, and I know they have low ratings. But I haven't seen most of them.
That's
So
the catch. And like I've seen a lot of bad video game movies, but none in my opinion as bad as what I put on this list.
all right,
So those
Except
are
for
my
apparently Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which has a 4.
So
Yeah.
I got one. I got 1 out of 3 predictions.
I had 2 predictions and I got both of them. One was Ian is going to pick Birdemic, and then I said The Room is going to appear at least twice, and it appeared twice.
you had it on your own honorable mentions.
Correct.
So basically, what you're saying is that it'll appear once.
Yeah,
That's what
but
you're
my-
basically.
one
which
other
is
person.
fine.
One other
That's
time.
fine.
I'll give you props for being so specific about me picking Birdemic.
Yeah,
Because I
picking
did
a
not-
specific person.
Yeah, I did not think that anyone else was going to pick it at all. So the fact that you were like, no, Ian will also choose this, was yeah, like
Yeah.
Dark Universe wasn't on here. I've never seen it, so
Mm.
nope.
No, Dark Universe isn't that
Mummy.
the Mummy? Like that's the universe, like the MCU that they were trying to create.
Yeah, that one
Oh.
and Dracula Untold was the other one they were in.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I never saw Dracula Untold either.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of you guys went and saw it, but yeah, I never saw it.
So Nate, did you have any predictions?
Yeah, I didn't. Did I get? No, I didn't. I mean, I got one of them. So let's see. One of my predictions was there would be nothing below a 6. That was wrong.
Blown right out. Yeah.
I said there'd be something from Zack Snyder, which is there's not. I was kind of thinking maybe like
Surprising.
Batman v Superman or something, like one of the new DC ones.
Hmm.
I said I would have the highest score, which I do not.
Close.
And I did say that the last Airbender would appear, and it definitely appeared because it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. So, do you guys agree with my deduction idea, or
Yeah. Let's go through and see
I
how
mean,
many we've seen.
whatever allows me to drop my point score down by
Under Brian.
6.7%. That's the amount
Okay.
I want to aim for.
Great. As long as we're not cheesing the scores.
Yeah, definitely not.
All right. So let's see. Because I think I'm gonna lose the deduction game. So
Yeah, you may.
here's a
'cause
chance
I
for
haven't-
everybody.
So let's see. Yeah.
So give me a second. I got to create new columns here.
So I will. Yeah, looking at Brian's list, I've only seen one of those movies.
Well, I think we need to go movie by movie. I think that's
Yeah.
going to be the easiest way
Yeah,
to do
that
it.
may be the easiest way. Yeah.
I've seen all the ones on my list. So
Okay, that's
Well,
that's good.
we know
That's good.
that.
Yeah.
So
You're not.
I'm
You're
being
not,
helpful, Brian.
you're not revealing that you cheated at the very end. Very good.
yeah, thank you. So I think well, all we do is we just add up how many other people have seen your movies. I think that's
Okay.
going to be the best way to do it.
Okay.
So, how many people have seen Pocket Ninjas?
No.
0.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Birdemic, who has seen it?
Me.
Okay, so that's 1.
Yep.
Barbed Wire. I think that's 0.
0.
Priest. Another 0.
Yep.
3 Ninjas. 0. Yeah,
Yep.
so I'm gonna lose this one. All right, so
Okay.
Wait, why'd you say barbed wire? Oh, because you swapped barbed wire for Jupiter Ascending.
I did. Yes.
I see.
Yes. Okay, so Ian,
Yeah.
going down his list, who has seen Transformers?
1.
I have seen Transformers.
So
Boom.
that's 3.
Yeah.
Who's seen The Last Airbender?
I've seen it.
Just 1.
Just one.
Birdemic. That's 1 because it's me. Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I've seen it.
Yep.
So 2.
2.
Who's seen Dragon Ball Evolution? 0. Okay, so
Okay. So
you have a
that's looking good for
7.
me. All right.
All right, Sean's list. Who's seen Splice? I have. So 1. Freddy Got Fingered. 0.
It's better this way.
Human Centipede 2. 0. Wicker Man with Nick Cage.
Not actually.
0.
Or Sausage Party.
Left Behind.
Nope.
0.
You didn't
All
see
right.
You didn't see Left Behind with us?
No, I saw a different bad Nick Cage movie with you guys.
Ah.
All right. Now I think this is going to be close now with Nate. I don't know. So, who's seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Me.
1. Max Payne.
No, actually, I did not.
1. Split Second. I don't think it's a 0. The Room.
Yep.
Okay, so 2. And Super Mario Brothers is all of us.
Yep.
Nope, I've never seen it.
Ah.
Oh man,
never
do
seen it?
yourself
Oh.
a favor, dude.
Oh.
So that's going to be 6.
Ooh, edging me.
I think Nate's
edging
got
me
it
out.
then.
Edging me out.
Yeah. No, Ian's
Oh,
got
that's
it.
Close.
Is that Ian?
Getting close.
Ian's got it. Yeah. So,
Really?
7.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
2,
I know.
4,
So
5,
yeah,
6.
I saw Sean. The movie that you're thinking, I saw Knowing with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yep, which
Yeah.
was also bad.
Also fan bad, yes.
It wasn't too bad, but it was just like at the very end, it ends up being a religious movie, and that did take all of us by surprise.
It's good because of the crew.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. So, Ian,
me.
it was 7, and the difference was 1. So you get to remove 1 point from here.
I thought we were just going to remove 7 points, so I thought Ian was
Yeah.
going to go down to 14, and then Nate was going to go down to 11. So I thought Nate won overall, but then at least Ian skirted by Brian.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like the difference between the first place and the second place, but that makes more sense. So
We should have thought
Yeah.
about all this ahead of time.
Should have. See, no, this is good. We can do this next time.
So Ian's gonna just squeak out the win with 14.6
No, but
to
Nate,
my 15.
Nate still gets the win because he goes from 17 down to 11. Oh,
Oh,
no,
we're doing it to all of them?
just first place gets it?
Yeah, just first place.
Oh.
If we're doing it to all of them, then I still win
It's true.
because I get a 14.
Because he just goes down to 14. On
No,
the
but
dot.
Nate
No,
goes
I
down
would
to
win.
11.
I would go to
Oh, that's true.
11.75.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Give
Yeah.
it to the
Okay.
guest.
Yep.
Yeah,
Give it
Nate,
to
Nate
the
wins.
guest.
Yeah, Nate.
Nate wins.
Yeah, so we go down.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known for seeing terrible movies.
You wanted this. This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't want to win. We
Too late.
tagged this stupid deduction crap on the end.
Well, welcome.
And I got
to
all of
5 Hit
1
List.
point. I got 1 point from one person seeing Splice. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm not upset that I didn't see any of those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you picked some terrible ones. You're like, oh, who's seen Human Centipede 2? Anyone?
I picked
Who's
bad
seen-
movies.
Who's seen Freddy
They
Got
are.
Fingered? Has anyone
They are
seen
bad.
that? No.
I
Like-
picked 6 bad movies.
I'm just so incredibly surprised because, like, I fully agree with Sean in that Splice, Human Centipede 2, and Sausage Party are all horrible movies, and the fact that their scores are even double digits blows
Yeah.
my mind.
Was Human Centipede double digits?
Yeah, Human
29.
Centipede 2 is 29, man. Like that's
Ugh.
it's bad. It's
That
like
is
that's
weird.
not okay.
They're all, telling you, all those people are just in scat, and that's why.
Yeah, like, it's
Uh,
not.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that has a higher tomato meter rating than Super Mario Brothers, which is a far superior movie.
I would agree with that. I would much rather if someone was holding up 2 movies and like, do you want to watch Super Mario Brothers or Human Centipede 2? The Brothers all day.
Yep.
Just shit,
All right,
put that in on
Human-
repeat
Human
so I don't need to
Centipede
watch
2.
it again.
Human Centipede 2 or Dark of the Moon?
Oh Christ.
I feel like all of the Transformer movies are higher.
yeah, I will take the non-body horror one
That's fair. That's a good
pretty
point.
much
Good point.
every time. I'm not a
Good
huge
plan.
horror movie guy to start with, so Human Centipede's just right off that cliff for me.
But yeah,
Mm.
Splice fucked me and Sausage Party fucked me. It's just not acceptable.
It's Transformers.
Those should not have been as high as they were.
I'm still bitter about Transformers.
You should have known. That was a multi-million-dollar movie.
Yeah, so was The Last Airbender, but it sucked.
Last Airbender is like that just went too far. It was so bad. It was really bad.
So bad.
Transformers, anything that's like a blockbuster just automatically gets bumped at like a few points. If it's a functional movie, then it gets like, I would say it gets at least 20% bump. Like I do not believe that all of the crazy big blockbuster superhero movies are all like 90% plus. Like that makes no sense.
Like, well, actually, let me just double check. I want to see. Just gonna look at my least favorite of the Marvel movies. And
Dark World?
No. I'll tell you. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Not Dark World?
I'm disappointed. No, I like Dark World. I'm disappointed with this. My least favorite MCU movie is a 79.
That's what I'm saying. It gets a bump just for being like a competently produced like big blockbuster movie. People are like, oh, this doesn't suck as much as blockbuster movies used to, and so they get a 20% bump.
Thor: Dark World's a 66. What are you looking at?
See, okay, well, so and the
Reveal your secrets.
The audience score is a 78. My God, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's not a great one.
Iron Man 3 is my least favorite MCU movie. Yeah.
It has issues.
It's got a lot of issues around it. Like, Tony Stark didn't need 3 movies to himself.
Probably true.
Well, especially because this is the big thing that kills it for me. The movie is decent most of the way through. There are some funny lines, for sure. I think that that the Mandarin character was decently done. I'm drawing a blank on all these actors that I'm trying to remember. Ben Kingsley. I think he did an amazing job because he's an amazing actor. Especially when he went into the Trevor persona, where he's just the stoned actor. But
he like falls asleep while talking to them.
Yeah. But then the big thing is Tony has this big moment at the end. Him, Pepper, everybody's dead, more or less. The president's been saved by Rhodey, actually doing his job, unlike Tony. And then he's just like, I'm done. I'm going to blow up all my suits for you. And then they do the fireworks show with all of his Iron Man suits.
Look at all these millions of dollars.
Next movie, new suit. And even we recently watched this in Civil War, he's even talking about it with Cap. He's like, I blew up all my suits, and then Ultron, and then this, and then new suit, can't stop, won't stop. And it's just like, yeah, who saw that coming, Tony?
Yep. Man, Ultron is incredible. He did not get done justice.
It's I keep forgetting it. Like, I've watched it a bunch of times.
It's very forgettable, which is really dumb.
Yeah.
Because James Spader is so good.
Like, there's a lot of good moments in it, for sure. Like, now that I've watched it a few times on streaming, like, it's got a lot of good little moments, but there is so much that I forget. Like,
I feel like
for me, it just came down to James Spader. That's it. Like, everything else was forgettable, but like every line he had was like, "Wow, you are James Spader as a robot." Like,
if
he just has that attitude.
Split between 2 movies that would be really good.
Yeah, make Ultron seem more dangerous, like more of a threat, instead of just villain of the month.
Yeah, he was so smart. Like, I don't know, he just had a lot of. They had good comedic timing for him, and
they did
quite good.
Yeah, but alas,
Alas.
we could do an episode on the MCU, no problem.
Yeah, we really could.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the only things in the MCU that I haven't seen are the second Hulk movie.
Edward Norton one.
Incredible Hulk.
The Edward Norton one. That one I haven't seen.
That's not very good.
I saw the Eric Bana Hulk movie, which wasn't.
I think that's my least favorite, actually.
The Eric Bana
I saw
Hulk,
that
it's not great.
a lot. I was working at Walmart. I was working at Walmart when that was like out on DVD or something,
Mm.
and they ran that over and over and over in the electronic section for a month, 2 months. I
Hulk
don't
smash.
know. It just kept going. I've seen that scene in the car with the Hulk dog so many times. I'm glad that it's like been removed from my brain because that was like that's some like Twilight Zone shit. You're just like, is life real? Where am I?
Yeah.
Why am I watching this again?
I'm gonna like kidnap you and strap you to a chair and make you watch it again.
It's a long
Well,
trip to do that.
yep.
Yep. Well,
As long as it's a comfy chair.
you don't know how high I can fly.
Yeah, Moody Hulk was not a good choice. He has one mood.
Mm.
It's his whole thing.
Um, speaking of which, for the new Spider-Man one, I feel like I'm tired of seeing a Green Goblin, and I want to see Hobgoblin. And the reason why is very simple. I'm tired of supervillains that were like, "Oh, you had some trauma, and that's why you became a villain." Like that's boring to me. It's like, "Oh, you had daddy issues," or I don't know, some other thing where it's like they're traumatic. No, no, no. I want a villain that's just like they just want money and power. That's it. They like money and power. Like in the
That was a
cartoon,
vulture.
Yeah, I really
in the
liked
cart,
how they handled Vulture for that exact reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the cartoon, like Hobgoblin takes over Kingpin's like headquarters. He takes it over and kicks Kingpin out. And he's just sitting there like, well, I guess I'll just he's like spends all of his time like playing Harry Osborn against Kingpin. He like double stabs both of them. And then like when you finally figure out who he is, it's just like, yeah, he's just like a rich guy who likes being richer and more powerful. And like that's all he cares about, which I'm like, that's so refreshing because you're
Yeah,
not just like, oh, I was abused as a kid, so I'm like a horrible whatever. Like I don't care about that.
yeah, even Kingpin and most of his incarnations, like yeah, he had some childhood abuse, but mostly he becomes a mobster and
Yeah.
is cool with that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's very smart.
I'm
Like-
totally on board with Hobgoblin. I would prefer that, but if this is the way we get like multiverse shenanigans and like the
Yeah.
Sinister Six, like I will accept these terms to get us to where we need to be.
Yeah.
It
I'm
looks
just
pretty
waiting.
sweet.
I'm just waiting for the point where they can fully cross over into the Spider-Verse and the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, because they're almost there. They're like
That
one.
feels like what we're about to do.
That's almost
they're-
what we're getting. They're taking all the live-action Spider-Men and putting them together. But then, like, give me the next movie in the cycle where we get all the animated Spider-Men and the live-action Spider-Man in the same movie.
I have a theory that I want to propose, and I want to say it on the internet before the movie comes out.
Uh-oh.
So instead of there being like a multiverse thing going on, we haven't seen or confirmed necessarily like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in it. It's highly implied that they will be.
I mean,
But
incredibly likely.
My guess is that the Tom Holland Spider-Man is quantum leaping into the other Peter Parkers.
Oh, he's inhabiting them temporarily.
Yeah, so I think we might get cameos from the other Spider-Men in like mirror reflections or something. But it looks like Tom Holland is like wearing their clothes in some of those shots.
I hope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that Tom Holland Spider-Man is quantum leaping into them.
I hope you're right.
Oh, okay, I see
And-
that. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I hope you're right, and we get a Scott Bakula cameo.
That would be amazing.
He just looks in the mirror and there's Sam. Just like
Like, wait a second. Yeah.
All right, should
So-
we wrap up?
I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Scott Bakula's the villain. You know, they haven't. I mean, I know that they've said that Doc Ock is going to be in it. Obviously, Alfred Molina's coming back. But like,
Yeah.
what if Doc Ock isn't the villain? And what if it is Scott Bakula? Just the man. Just Scott
What's your
Bakula.
motivation? I'm Scott.
Yeah, just out there being a jerk.
What's the likelihood that Vincent D'Onofrio shows up at some point
Oh, that would
as the
be.
Kingpin?
I wouldn't be mad at that. Really, I wouldn't be upset. That would be
Depends
fine.
on, as long as it's not too bloated.
If they
Oh, I'm not
brought
saying
in,
for this movie. I just think, like, in general, I felt like he did
Oh,
a good
that'd be
job
great.
as a live action Kingpin.
oh
He was a
yeah,
great
I
Kingpin.
want the Daredevil verse to come in because that was
Yeah,
really
same
good.
here. Yeah, the Daredevil was probably the best. That and season 1, Jessica Jones was really good.
I think
But-
all of them were pretty good. The what was the
Iron Fist was not good.
Iron Fist is.
Oh, maybe Iron Fist wasn't, but
Punisher was
Luke
good.
Cage was
good. Cage was really
Luke
good.
Cage was
Yeah, I
good.
enjoyed Luke Cage, and I like that actor,
yeah, he was really
Michael
good.
Coulter. He's awesome.
Yeah, I think they need to decide what they want to do with their TV stuff, and like they still, like Agents of Shield still inhabits its own corner.
Yeah.
They abandoned that real early. Like season 3 or 4, like they were just like, yeah, this isn't keeping pace with the MCU anymore. It's just
Yeah. Well, they
Whatever.
needed I haven't watched any of it, but yeah, they really just need avenues of expression for heroes that are not like A-list, like,
Yeah.
carry their own movie type stuff. Like, it was cool to see. I've seen the clips of Ghost Rider and Agent of Shield, and I like Ghost Rider. I used to own comics for Ghost Rider.
I think he was okay in that. A lot of people didn't like it, but I think he was fine. Like the rest of the season and everything they do in that season is stupid, but I think he was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, just like these ideas, but like that's the thing where it's like you need to hit. You just hit like a middle bench par. Like, you don't need to be like crazy good, because ultimately people just want to see Ghost Rider, right?
Yeah.
But like, you can't be Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, because then you're just Nicolas Cage. You're not Ghost Rider. So like,
I don't know. They still made two Nick
They
Cage Ghost Rider
did.
movies.
but that's because he was obsessed with being Ghost Rider, right?
Yeah.
He like really wanted it,
Yeah, because he is Ghost Rider.
so he got it. He is
Ghost Rider.
the only one
And him.
who can walk in both worlds. We know this is fact.
All right. But yeah, I think we've run our course.
Cool. Well, it was really fun. Thanks for bringing me along.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for coming on,
Thanks for
man.
coming.
This was awesome.
So I believe, Nate, you're going to be back for the next one, right? Which is September 16th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good.
Cool.
'Cause it has been
then
decided.
usually we have people on twice in a row if we can.
Let's
So
figure out what we're doing.
it's probably going to be board game related, but
Could be.
Might be
Yeah.
movie related.
Could be.
maybe.
We'll see.
We'll do a list.
We'll just do top 5 best characters in Barbed Wire.
Hey, we got some homework.
Why barbed wire?
Why not, man?
Yeah, why not barbed wire?
I mean, we could do it.
All right.
Sweet.
So yeah, thanks again, Nate, for coming. This was awesome. Thank you for everybody who hopped in chat and was with us the whole time. Top 5 best gotcha game characters. That's hard. There's like a million per game.
Literally, that's the point.
Yeah, thanks everybody who watched. I hope that everybody had a good time. I really like this score mechanic. I want to see if we can
Me
we
too.
can introduce this to things that aren't necessarily scoreable.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out later. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, hope everybody had a good time. Hope you come and see us again on Monday when we play more D&D, and then join us again on the 16th for more 5-hit list. But until then, hope everybody has a nice night, has a nice time. Goodbye.
Bye.